Hello everyone, ladies and gentlemen, with Mr. Viper now, Suomi versus AM game number 1. We are just starting, has been a while waiting, but we are there already. And there we go, we are starting in game number 1, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go, Mr. Viper. A pleasure to be casting with the Viper here for the first time ever, even if you didn't remember. And Mr. Viper, like we were talking before, now we check the civilizations. I always love to analyze the pocket, Franks and Indians, and having someone like you here, what do you prefer here as a pocket, Franks or Indians?
I think in this scenario it very much depends as well on the flank civilizations, because in theory Franks might seem like a stronger choice with Cavalier, Paladin, Knights and Castellar Scouts are going to be stronger in the early game. You also have a great eco, but Indians also have a great eco, and the worst part for Franks is that Indians kind of counter them with the Camels and Castellar. So the damage kind of has to be done, or at least you need to keep both flanks significantly ahead. Otherwise, the Indian player will just overrun the Franks player as the game goes on.
Okay, I'm checking now on the left. Look how early VLS is taking the elephant, probably trying to avoid the lame, because MBL, since they have Vietnam versus the Vikings, they are probably aware that potential laming with MBL and Vietnam combination can happen.
Dude, if you see MBL and Vietnamese together, you just go and grab your resource ASAP. You can see Leary on the bottom side as well. He tried to take a board from Zupi there, but he actually failed. So well done by Zupi, keeping control of both his elephants. And Leary has half HP now on his eagle, so good start for Zupi down there.
Okay, Ethiopians or Mayas. By the way, when I tell you, you need to make a pause in the game. I will tell you why, because with this 1, 2, 3, let's pause. Well, for some reason, I have to get the hotkey for the zoom, because with this patch, sometimes happen, it just disappear, and I have the 4K resolution activated, and I didn't have the hotkey for the zoom, and it's very difficult to see all and the viewers. 1, 2, 3, and we go again. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Okay, I was about to ask you, the Mayans versus Ethiopians. I know that it depends on a lot of factors, but personally, what do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, like you said, there's a lot of factors involved, right? I'm looking at the map of Zupi and I'm immediately like I don't like the map very much at all. There's a nasty hill in front of his base where his main gold and main stone is as well, so that looks really rough. And you compare against Leary, who's playing as the Mayans, typical Leary civilization on the Arabia flank, who has pretty much a perfect map. So with that in mind, I would say I favor Mayans, right? But in general, I think Mayans is considered a stronger civ overall. The economy is just simply better.
Okay, well, this is a Viper map, man. Viper, man. Did you give a Viper map to Leary?
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing, man. Nothing. Okay, well, it's your remote, man. It's your remote, not my map hack. You know, I'm trying to introduce your remotes in my channel too. So
I don't have remotes on TikTok, man.
Okay. Now going to the left, the map also for, well, pretty much the map for Suomi flanks, not really good at all.
Yeah, and the map for the AM flanks is amazing. Look at MBL's map as well. Such an easy way to secure both woodlines and gold and stone in the back. So even in this situation, both the flanks of AM could even go for their unique unit. Obviously, I don't think either of them will, but that's how good their maps are.
Okay, I'm trying to check if there's potentially some team wall from AM. I don't think so, because if we check between MBL and Hira, it's extremely open map, actually, and very long. So MBL will do probably his own walls, like he's usually doing with his own resources, and well, and that's it. Then going really aggressive should be the way to go with the max, because now you get advantage with the scouts in early game, and Indians potentially you will fall a little bit behind if he's going a lot of camels in early castle age.
Yeah, I think the main issue I see with this is the fact that, if you look at Super's map, right, the pressure is going to come in there on that goal. There's no question about it. Unless he decides to go for the back goal, which is an option. But the problem with that is that, well, you can actually do it two ways. Super could go really aggressive himself and try to pile on the pressure on Leary, but then he would obviously be vulnerable to counterattacks. But the issue, like I mentioned, was that Max will probably have to focus primarily on helping defending his flanks instead of being aggressive. So the scout bonus HP doesn't necessarily come into effect too much.
The problem here is that in this situation, when you are, for example, in TeamSpeak, Discord, whatever you are using to communicate, now they might be deciding who I help first. This is what I love in 3 versus 3. And now the max, I mean, both seems to be exposed, but I believe that this will go probably to help Zupi.
Yeah, it will depend on how after the first minutes of feud layers, you will know kind of where the pressure and how it's going to play out. Right now, MBL has a drush coming into Villes's base, and obviously then Villes will inform the Max that he's being drushed, and Max might be inclined to go and help him first then. While on the other side, after 11 minutes, there might be pressure on Zupe again. So Max did move out of his base now, and it seems like he's going towards Hera actually, while Hera is scouting Zupe's base. So to me, it seems like Hera wants to play with Leary, and they want to be aggressive on Zupe. But the drush from MBL is about to do work.
Yeah, but they are doing already, Viper. You missed it. One village there, lost already for Supi. 2 scouts were there, and now they are going really aggressive on the left. And like you said, look at Supi goal. He's taking the one at the back because his map is terrible. And BL is already going forward, going to be on the wood. Let's see if he's going to make some damage. He's walling. There is no mistake at all. Goal another at the back. Both flanks forced to go to the secondary goal, and those secondary goal is still super far from his base at all. So it's a problem here.
There's definitely a problem. Velez opted to go for the man-arms opening, so he's going to be able to deal with the drush. But the issue is, look at MBL space. By the time Velez has archers out at this point to apply some pressure, MBL is probably going to be on the way to Castle Age even. With that map, he even has deer in the back. He's going to find his 2 remaining sheep, so that looks really, really good for MBL right now.
Oh no, he got bad luck. Look at MBL. Instead of going to the edge of the map, if he was going straight to the edge, now he's going diagonal, and bam, bad luck for MBL. Okay, on the right side, we can see how they are trying. Well, one scout from Hira. Hira seems to be going to Supi, denying that what?
Yeah, sorry, I just noticed that Velez is actually sending... Velez is doing something really clever, I have to point out. He's not upgrading the man-arms, because he knows he has extra HP with Vikings, and he knows he will be able to deal with that, so the man-arms will be a wasted investment. What he's doing is sending 4 villagers forward, and he's gonna turn this into quite an aggressive game right away.
Wow, and it's nice because he can see, let me check Fog of War, he can see the goal and see his Dark Age. This is a really good move by Velez. Well, when you have a bad map, like you said in the start of the game, this is probably the best move to do. Just try to keep the pressure out of your base, and then your map doesn't matter anymore.
Exactly, and he knows that Hera was on Super's side as well, so he knows that if Hera will come to his side, it will be maybe in a minute or 2 when he has grouped up his scouts, right? So Velez knows he has the time. With good communication, he will know that he has the time and is able to do this right now, right? And now it's up to MBL all of a sudden to react to this aggression.
MBL doesn't have resources to go up to castle, so he's gonna go full feudal. He might do a counter tower. He's doing exactly that, but I think he's gonna be open in time to... Yeah. Oh, he's in the range even. Oh, that tower should be a little bit more behind. Now he's not doing. This is good for Velez. Now he's gonna get inside. The problem is that he's gonna still be walled completely, but still, this is good for Velez right now.
Considering how it opened, it's definitely turning out more favorable for Velez. MBL has the right setup here though. The walls are up, the tower... Actually, the tower is not going up. He had to
Whoa!
He has to replace again. This is something turning into...
He lost it! He deleted.
No, he deleted.
He deleted, okay. Well, I'm not sure anymore because he's mining a stone, Viper. So...
Yeah, I mean...
yeah,
he definitely misplaced those towers there to begin with, but like I said, he will have the setup now. There is archers coming from the left, so that's great, but MBL is already on stone. While it's quite messy right now, I think still he will be able to buy time. He just needs a skirm or 2, maybe archers, which seems like he's going for. He actually can't afford fletching right now if he makes that archer, so I'm wondering if that's the decision he's going to stick with.
Yeah, he lost all the map advantage, man. Look at now the map from MBL. Well, typical MBL, Viper. Look at these buildings here. You see what it is. On the right side, we were trying to see, and Mr. Hira is already with Leary, but doing the building. Supi is safe at home. He walled completely. He's fine right now. Look at the goal at the back, Viper. He walled completely. So Supi, he can just hold with that army between those archery rings and blasmith. So the dangerous position here for AM is MBL side now.
Yeah, I like the way Zupi secured his map there. Obviously, Leary wanted to pile on pressure on the gold. He did do fletching really fast, etc. So they did put some pressure, but Zupi was just sitting back, playing passively, defensively, being safe, and it worked out really well for him. Well, Max was trying to do some counterattack on Hera's base, but Hera is fully walled himself, and he also has a nice back goal, so he's going to be able to transition nicely out of this. Even though, if you look at his map, his main goal is also quite rough compared to Max, for example, But yeah, everyone is kind of making the best out of the bases here.
Yeah, well, the good thing is, like you said, he's already with 5 villages on goal at the back. I'm checking the resources. Hero has, well, India's economy just amazing. You can get few scouts and go 18, 19-minute castle more or less easily. Oh, I like what MBL is doing. Look what he's doing now. Look what he's doing now, and he didn't notice. Viles didn't notice. Now he deleted the palace and gonna take the tower. He should probably protect this tower a little bit better. Or, I don't know. He's recovering the goal.
I don't think you can protect it with it though. Like MBL could always just delete the barracks, etc., and take it down. I think that tower was pretty much just to force the game into a little bit of a different way. But right now, Hero did sneak scouts inside of Viles' base, so he's right now hitting the village. It's gonna take 1, and looks like he actually wants to try and get out of there. But Viles could quick wall this.
Oh, he didn't. Oh, but still, he lost all the scouts with the well, so many villages on the TC. All the scouts almost bye-bye, and now they are trying to push Hira completely, and the max, Mr. Viper, 19 minutes 43 seconds. I have to tell you that I got a cheating tool, and I put in quotes because Mr. PKZ gave an amazing overlay, and below 20-minute castlage. Look at all the resources Hira is spending to protect this aggression. That's huge for Suomi. Go, go, go.
It is indeed, but Hera is doing a big mistake here. He actually queued up 2 vills and castlage behind the 2 villagers.
What?
So he has been now waiting for castlage in his queue with 2 villagers being produced. And that's going to slow down his castlage time. He could have been up at the same time as Max, but that's a mistake. It happens obviously, but the pressure was on, so it makes sense. But this is the issue with the way MBL had to play this. He had to play defensive, he had to tower up, and this allowed Viles to just go with Max and put all the pressure on Hera.
Okay, he's there with the scouts. He's trying to kill all the archers. Now, oh, he's going all in. He's going all in. He should delete the farmers, maybe. Should delete the farmers. No, he's not deleting. And now he's on the wood. Oh, Mr. Viper. Those villages form. Hira is going to be down.
Indeed, and Max has armor as well. He's actually being trapped in those, so there's a big chance. He's kind of sacrificing all his villas now just to kill the scouts. And this is actually a huge loss for Hera here.
Yeah, I mean, that palisade gate, masterpiece, whatever, but he did the job. Already killing a lot of villages. Oh my god, all the villages! 1 village survived.
And Leary sent his army home to help Hera because of this, everything coming out. And look at Leary's base now.
Look at
Supi behind with archers.
Oh my god, getting a lot, man. What happened? I mean, the map was terrible for AM, for Suomi, sorry, but look, playing aggressive, teamwork, they changed completely the map, right? And now it looks like the worst map was for AM.
Indeed, it's just been really good synergy between the Finnish players here. Like, because of the Viles' reaction to the Drush, he was able to support Max on putting pressure on Hera, and Leary had to help him. And as Leary goes to help him, Zupi attacks Leary. So the synergy of the team attacks here of Suomi has been incredibly good.
Okay, let's now, I mean, if the game is still definitely not over and not close to be over, but in this kind of a scenario that most of the times AM claim that they love Arabia, and many people think that in Arabia they are favorite against many players. If Suomi is able to get Arabia 3v3 here, how can this affect to a team like, like Secret, like AM? And it can affect for the upcoming games, or you can, okay, let's focus and forget, but man, it can be huge starting with 1-0 behind in your favorite map.
Yeah, but I think at this point Arabia isn't really favored for any teams. I think it has a lot to do with the draft, with the civilizations, and how the early game plays out. So even if you lose this map, I don't think necessarily, if AM were to lose this map, I don't think they would be like, oh shit guys, what do we do now, right? I'm sure they would just be like, okay, we lost this game, it happens. Suomi is a great team, obviously, they have huge respect for them, and it's not like a huge upset if they would lose Arabia.
Okay. Well, let's see. Nice. Also, it's a best of 7 cities. It's not a best of 3 or a best of 5, like you are almost bye-bye. Archers and Knights from the Max here, in top of that hill. But Leary is already in castle with the crossbows. Now they need time. They need time to get the average from Supi. Otherwise, now the battle will be terrible. Camels already and crossbows, so they can change the game already. Well, look at the score. I mean, the score is switching all the time. I mean, it was looking that it was a huge loss, and they are still there.
Indeed, and Leary, even though like he lost a couple of villagers under the tower, he still has more villagers than Zupi. I'm not sure about wheelbarrow. That's probably something you could check, but
I can tell you, no, Leary don't have wheelbarrow. Zupi has, so
okay,
that's
makes sense then. Yeah, but the biggest difference here you can see is the population difference between the pockets. Max is almost he's 8 villagers ahead of Hera right now, and that's something that can really snowball into a big military lead or economy lead. But MBL is doing a good job recovering on the top side. The main issue with MBL's player has been that his passive approach here has allowed for Villes to support on other flanks, and as you can see now, Villes is down at the bottom, helping once again.
Yeah, they're there, 3 players versus 2. MBL is trying to go. What he should do MBL now? Because he can't join that party. He's now really far from the action. But now let's focus in this engagement because it can be huge. Ballistic for who? Who got ballistic here? Only Leary, Mr. Viper. Only Leary got ballistic in this one.
It's about to finish though for both Supi and Villes, so they're gonna have it as well in any second now. And actually, I'm really surprised how aggressive AM are playing. They're playing it really confidently, but also it could be a hint of desperation, knowing that they have to do damage. But then again, Leary does have that nice hill he can camp. So no matter what, I feel like they should always get a favorable trader. But you can see how fast the archer range goes down.
Yeah, well, Indians, man. Indians camel with the bonus, crazy stuff. Knights from the max. Let's see the max, because those camels are fully upgraded, 2+2. Ooh, not +2 for the max. That can be huge in this situation.
It's a kind of an approach he chose there. Like, Hera went immediately for +2 as he got the cast edge, while Max has done a more equal approach. And that's more of a long-term gain, right? But as long as the +2 doesn't lead into a significant military lead for AM, then I prefer the approach of the Max here.
Okay, let's see. Now he open formation. They are dancing. Those camels are dancing from here. I need to go back. Archers from 3 player. MBL is now coming. This can be a huge battle for AM, in my opinion, Viper, because now that's a sandwich.
Indeed, AM had to heal here, but definitely there's just better army for AM. Or Suomi had to heal, sorry. And this also shows now, if Max had +2 there, they would have taken a way better trade, but in the end, there wasn't +2. And here you see, now the military lead is heavily in favor of AM.
Well, I can tell you the numbers, because in this overlay, 76 military in total, 78, almost 80, 35 army Suomi now. 35 army combined, I'm talking. You know, of course there's some archers, camels, but still, it's almost triple. It's crazy stuff here. Oh my god, Leary now a rushing. Let's go, Viper.
Yeah, the biggest issue right now is that if you look at Max's villager count, he's almost 20 villas ahead of Hera. Yes, but he has, they have similar army, and Hera has the counter army. So even if Hera is behind 15, 20 villagers, he can still produce as many camels, and he will be able to support his flanks right now, which have way bigger armies than their opposite. So that's what I mentioned earlier. It depends a lot on the flanks when there's Indians involved, because if the flanks have an advantage, then the Indians doesn't really matter if you're behind the pocket.
What is this? We see the SARS and archers that I call them, I don't know if you know, but you will know now, siege owners, siege rams, because they are like this. But those camels, I'm gonna call them, what is this? It's incredible. Look at the stable going down super fast. And now, how do you defend this army? I mean, it's so difficult in this situation, even with the +2. Now, the Max is even doing the +2 attack, but he's investing a lot in this situation. Look at the score now, how AM is taking a huge lead here, Mr. Viper.
Yeah, the idle time now, the worst part for Max is that the whole right side is idle, and that's where most of his farm eco was. And he has to run a lot of villagers with pretty much 20 idols there. The stables are going down, which means the production is going down. And the worst part now for Suomi is that they have to find a way to group up to be able to take a good fight. And the issue is they have to run from each their side, right? No matter what, AM dictates this fight now, and they control where they want to fight. While Zupi is coming from behind and Villes is coming from the top, AM could now just run straight down and trap Zupi's army and clean Zupi's army isolated by itself.
Okay, I just noticed that Leary is on 1 TC all the game, Viper.
Power mines, 3 ranges, early ballistics, probably has Thumbring as well, I don't know for sure, I'm sure you can check that.
Yeah, he got everything, all the upgrades.
Indeed.
He don't even have horse collar and wheelbarrow, you know? He's just all in with the archers.
His TC is idle as well. Like I said, I think this stems from the early game here, where they felt like, okay, they took some damage, let's just go all military and try to win the game like this. And they're definitely, like you see now, they jumped on Supi's army by himself. I don't like the fight so far though, but still, now they're in his base and they're gonna do a lot of damage here.
But if they kill those archers now with those camels, I mean, they are gonna kill everything. They're going to the right side now with the archers taking all the villages. And here, man, they are just cleaning Supi. Look at Supi population is going dramatically down. How they recover from this, I don't know, because one player, Villes, with a crazy civilization is on the way to Imperial. How much impact at this point can have that transition to Imp that early? Oh my god. Leo and MBL are on the way to Imperial as well. Forget my question.
With MBL up, it is not a big, gonna make a big difference here. It feels like Leary is playing beach fight here. Would you play like one TC, just like so much army and just go to input one TC? But considering the circumstance, this actually works. They also know about the exposed maps of Supi, for example. So this early Imperial from Leary, for example, makes a lot of sense. If he could somehow take stone and get Obsidian arrows, it would be even cooler. But I don't think that's gonna happen now. But they're taking another great fight.
Yeah, they are taking a brutal fight, and I don't want to say that because the score is still really close, but this is looking so damn good for AM. And look at how now, well, there's a lot of knights still and no camels from Kira now. Well,
indeed, this fight turned out way better for Zoma than I anticipated. And Zupi come from behind now with a massive army. Lyra is 50% on with Imp, and his army is in the middle of nowhere. There's a big chance he gets cleaned up completely here.
and that's terrible because imagine if he's losing and he might lose all that archers. If they losing all the archers, but Leo has 58 villas and nothing. What? They're losing everything.
Exactly, and that's the thing where Max's account, if Max didn't lose that whole farming area, it would have been so much better for them right now. Even now, he's struggling to keep up with the production, and Hera just has enough camels to pretty much buy the time for Leo to fall back here. And Hera's even... He's still 20 villages behind the Max, right? But the military, that's the thing. Hera's providing so much more military than Max, and that's buying so much more time for his flanks to pretty much dictate how to fight.
Yeah, but now MBL is losing so many archers on the right, is losing also so many archers. They're gonna lose a lot because he's in Imperial faster with the Vikings. I don't know. I was thinking that the game could be one side or the other, but he's switching all the time. The camels, but how, man, Viper, how with the pressure he was getting, managed the Max to still have 120 villages already. I mean, he was getting raided big time. It's true that he has not a lot of farming. Maybe that's the key.
Yeah, it's part of that and the fact that he probably was lacking gold even, so the thing he could produce was probably villagers, right? He couldn't produce as many knights because of lack of gold income, and he had to do something, right? And then the food goes into villagers. Whether that's it's beneficial or not, considering circumstances, probably not. But actually, Hera lost like 2 camels here now, both to Velez's army, now running into Zupi's army. So, it's not over yet, but Leary has a great position there on Zupi's base.
Yeah, and how to stop that, I don't know. How is the economy for the Max to go up to Imp? The Max got 140 population, 46 farmers, 3 villages only on gold, but he still have 1,000 gold in the bank. He's gonna go up to Imperial, but Hera is already up to Imp with Indians. Really rough, yeah, really tough situation here for Supi. I don't know how he can hold now against those 2 beasts, Hera and Leary together, and he's still in Castle. For how long? For forever.
Yeah, Velez is now sending his army by himself. He's losing so many arbalists there all by himself. Such a wasteful trade for him. But obviously he's being pressured on the top, and his goals. MBL is dropping a castle in his face on top of all his production. He's losing control of both his golds on the front as well. And Velez is pretty much does have 0 gold income right now.
I like it how Viper, did you see how he said, don't worry man, you can even scream even more if you want. This channel is scream activated all the time in his face, exactly. And look at that. Taking all the archery ranges and all the ground. It's a fantastic one, actually.
There's a hole as well on top side.
He can go in. He just
keeps pushing. Let's go.
Now he's getting completely into the channel. There you go. Now look at those arbalists and those camels. He's gonna be pushed later. Now he has been a little bit more shy. Don't worry, Viper. We will get there. And then the badaboom. Don't forget, because it need to be some badaboom here. But now Viper, really, I mean, 64 villages Leary with 1 TC. Supi, 3 tons center, 65 villages, and he's still not even going up to Imperial. The strategy in this game is so hard to predict which one is the right one, because you check the numbers and you might say, this is not the right way. Well, it is the right way, and they are taking everything now.
You just think back to Feudal Age, where Zomi were doing the damage. Ever since Feudal Age, every single action has taken part in Zomi's base. Ever since Feudal Age, and now Leary's doing a castle in front of Zupi's goal. So again, now this comes back to the map as well. Both MBL has control of his front, and Leary has control of his front, which is where Zupi and Velez's resources are. And now I'm sure Obsidian Arrows on the way. Yes, indeed. So now we're gonna start seeing.
Oh, you hype with that? You hype with Obsidian Arrows? Okay, Obsidian Arrows there. Imagine those siege owners walking there with those arbalists. Still no arbalists for purple, but Okay, at the back they are killing a lot. Also, we saw that Hira, man, these Indians, Viper, with less economy, he has constantly, during all the game, 20-30 camels non-stop.
Yeah, indeed. Like I said, but that was the key. They know that as well. They just need to keep the flanks ahead. Oh, look, they're shaking on the castle with Obsidian Arrows. I love it.
Masterpiece, Viper! Masterpiece!
The Obsidian Arrows, Archers, and the Ramels. That's awesome.
Look at that castle. Going down in what, 10 seconds?
Oh, it was like 12, but close enough.
Okay, sorry, it's 12 seconds. Sorry, not really close to that. But look at those camels and arbalest. This is crazy. It's still 130 villages, but you check the numbers. Well, the numbers in terms of military and village seems not much ahead now. Lear got crazy amount of army here, and they are going all into the max.
That's the thing as well here for Leary. He doesn't need that. Like the archers of mines are cheaper as well. So he can just keep that 5-range production going, even though he's doesn't have the economy. Right? It's super cheap, indeed. In CG, there's simply nothing to do here. Like in Feudal Age, the way do you see Velez called Sigurd now? By the way, or is it just me?
No, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay.
On my screen, his name is now Sigurd, but that's okay. That doesn't matter. Yeah, the early Feudal Age play from Suomi was great. The synchronized attacks, the synergy between their armies was awesome, right? But once they hit Castle Age, there was never any action at all in any of AM spaces. And AM played this really well from Castle Age forward.
But how that happened? Because they were doing all nice. They tried to push the pressure to Hira, they tried to make all the aggression, but then he reached a little bit faster here at the Castle Age, and then with 1 TC and going all in, I think Leo was here a little bit the key. He did 3 archery range right away from Castle Age and went all in directly.
Yeah, well, Hira was actually slower to Castle Age than Max, right?
Okay.
But Leary, obviously, the 1 TC play just took army lead, and it was also quite dicey there. The hills there definitely made give Leary and Hera the option to play around on that hill in front of Zupa's base. And they were up against 3 armies, right? But then MBL came from the back, and suddenly they took an amazing fight, and they just snowballed their army out of control from there. I think one thing to point out as well here is that obviously Velez did the 4 tower on MBL. He did go to Hera afterwards, yes, but all this time after that, MBL was pretty much untouched, right? And that just allowed MBL to pretty much control the game from his side. Again, to like decide where he wants to fight, and he just had full control of the less from there on.
Yeah, is the problem there. I mean, you try to make damage in one player, the other is untouched, and look at MBL at the end, 120 Velez as a flank, while his flank finished with 72. Yeah, Velez was with more, let's take the statistic completely, and Velez was at the maximum. Now I see the name you said in the statistics. Yeah. What is this? Sigurd. 97? Probably he changed after the games or whatever, I don't know. Or
we had this bug as well.
Yeah, it's a bug, but still, let's put the score. It's already AM with very strong gameplay there for AM. Almost Memp is their new nickname. I don't know if you knew that, Viper, but it's a premiere for you, you know?
Yeah, okay. That must be an honor.
Well, no, it's not an honor. It's good for Secret, because if they are almost Memp, they are GG, you know? So 147 bill is the max. Well, but at the end, the amount of army, look at Leary. Leary did 68 villages, Viper, 74 Obsidian Arrows Archers.
As long as you kill 60 vills from your enemy, you don't need to have 120 vills, right?
Well, so, Supi did 75, so yeah.
Yeah.
Total domination there. Well, this has been, guys, game number 1, AM versus Suomi. We're going to go for the game number 2 very soon, but first we have to play. I forgot, man, because I got excited that you come here to Caucas, Viper, and I have a couple of videos for AM and Suomi, and I didn't even play them. So let's go and introduce them to the viewers. Game number 2, we are starting, and it's gonna be Grand Bara. Grand Bara is a map that now we will see with the Viper. It's a little bit closer in comparison with the other maps in the tournament, but it depends how you're gonna play. Because, and we are starting right now, Mr. Viper, 7, 8, 9, 10, let's go. Depend how you play, Mr. Viper. Thank you for being here. It can be not that close, because, well, we have seen some early aggression. You suffer in the group stage against Leaks, for example. But probably the best approach here is Castle Age.
Depends a lot though, right? If there's Saracens involved, which I'm not sure if there is.
It's not there.
Okay, yeah. If there's Saracens involved, you kind of feel very exposed on the flanks. Also, when there was Cumans involved, which Suomi used a lot, usually you had those extra HP on the power side walls again, right? And then you suddenly feel super safe to just go to Castle Age and play it like that, right? The thing is, obviously you're cut off from the middle to begin with, but you only have one side to wall in theory, so it's kind of easy to control and sort of ensure that the game goes to Castle Age. But at the same time, I see Veles stole 2 sheep there, which is really good for this map because there's a very lack of resources in general. But yeah, like usually it's very simple to force this game into Castle Age, this map. But we obviously have seen it being played out very differently multiple times already.
Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's tricky, but I don't think it's really difficult to sneak a villager here. We have seen a couple of attempts, but the gap is bigger than the maps, and it could be a sneak. I don't know why people is not doing, but they are going more for the walls. Anyway, being said that, we have Hans as a pocket and Nikov. Now we have Nikov with Teutons. Remember that this is the previous patch, so here the knights from Teutons are not as great as they are now, but the farmers is still cheaper. No, I don't know. What do you think, Hans or Teutons here?
Probably would have to favor Hans in general. Teutons obviously you have monk resistance on top of everything. But then again, I'm not sure if I think monks are going to play out, be too much of a factor here. Maybe you want to do 13 range castles in the middle, could be good, right? But yeah, I don't know. Definitely I would favor Hans. Yeah, for sure.
Then we have on the right side, we have here Byzantines facing Spanish Veles. Or in my opinion, I prefer Byzantines, even if the Conks can be super strong, because I believe that he will go fast Castle and Conks. But I don't know, I mean, you have a really smooth transition with Byzantines also to Imperial Age and Arbalists. We have seen how strong they can be.
And have you seen the outplay Skirm system as well?
That's truth.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, but I agree. Byzantines definitely, the fast imp can be real dangerous, right? Usually, especially combined with the Saracens, for example. But at the same time, there's a time window there where Conquistadors can do a lot. And also, if you look at the middle, once you're down there, there's such a big area that the mobility of Conquistadors can play a huge part. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see Veles's approach here, knowing that he's up against Byzantines and knowing that it's likely that Byzantines will go for fast castle crossbows, maybe even fast imp. And I'm really curious about the fact that AM is using Chinese on this map as left flank with Leary. And he's also one of the civs that Leary plays a lot on the flank. It's a bit of a strange choice to me. To me, I would think that Chinese is better on other maps, but obviously Chinese are going to be great on any map. It's just that they will probably be better on certain maps than others. So yeah, interesting choice.
Okay, and he's facing Malay. Well, Malay is dangerous. Malay is always dangerous with the bonus they have. It depends then what the strategy, what combination that they will use here. But Malay is a solid choice also. Being not bugged, of course, being with the 66% faster up, it's very strong here as well.
Indeed. Malay is similar to Byzantines, where you kind of know what's coming and you know there's the risk of that fast imp, there's the risk of that early punishment. That's hard to deal with, obviously, but Chinese, again, one of the, maybe even the best civ in the game right now. So I'm sure Leary feels super confident no matter what he's up against, as long as he has Chinese. I have to point out that I see Veles actually has one dead unit. I'm not sure. He has a scout alive, so it has to be a villager.
It's a villager, yeah.
I see it next to the town center now. Yeah, it's a skeleton to the right of the town center.
Okay.
He lost that to the boar. He also almost lost the walling villager right now to a wolf, but fortunately for him, his scout was in the area to help him out.
But this is what I don't like with the Spanish. I mean, we saw the previous series that you did the Spanish. By the way, I was in that donut, and I said, "Don't be so surprised." I said to Hira, he said, "Nah, he won't do it. Don't be so surprised. The Viper will go fast castle and forward villas to make a castle," and you did it with the castle forward. We will talk about those. But what I mean is, for me, it's better when you are as a pocket because you get a smoother economy. You were doing the castle and you still got a strong economy. Here, he's walling, he's spending a lot. Now he has lost a valley. He will need to make a lot of damage with the Kongs because he might fall behind in economy with everyone else in the game.
Indeed, but that's also the case. Yes, in theory, it's better to have the Kong player as pocket in this case, right? But you also, in this map, most likely want your pocket to just be free booming and going straight into Imp, right? Considering how it's playing out right now. And you can do that with Spanish, of course, but they want to go Conquistadors most likely. You can see it's already on stone. And therefore, then you would put another player on the flank that can't really free boom as he wants to, right? Because there's the risk of being forwarder, maybe Monk Siege, there's all those types of risks all of a sudden again. So I think you're kind of forced to putting Spanish as a flank here.
Okay. So you think then that the Max shouldn't commit a lot in Knights, like more boom than Army?
I think both Max and Nico will probably up with Barracks stable, and they will have one stable while focusing on booming. Maybe Max even might just do 2Ts. I'd see he's not added the Barracks yet. But yeah, most likely they will play like similar to Arabia with a little bit more emphasis on boom. At least that would be my guess at the moment. Although Nikov has 3 vills on the tree towards the middle, so he really wants to break out there as fast as possible.
Okay, this is what he wants, and this is what he's doing. One is stuck at the moment, not anymore. It's only 50 wood left. The Max is also... yeah, it's almost the same. They will go outside. Now he's doing the Barak, the Max. So yeah, they will go standard like Arabia. I'm checking on the right side, and how is the value count? Well, pretty similar for everyone. And Supi, well, Supi with Malay doesn't matter because you can... Oh, but Supi is not even walled. Okay.
Yeah, well, he has scouted, right? He has a scout. He killed Lyria's scout, so he has full vision. He knows what's happening. He knows that Lyria is fully walled, and he knows that Lyria is Dark Age, so there's no threat for him right now. He can take his sweet time to wall. I want to point out, though, look at Nico's base. Does he not trust his flanks, or what? This is what I would do if I was with doubt, but yeah, it feels like he doesn't know. They think there might be a sneak. The way he's using his scout as well looks like he's looking for potential sneaks.
Okay,
so, interesting.
I love Mr. Viper, how you throw the loves you have from doubt every time that you can. Huh?
He told me he will be watching, so I gotta sneak that in wherever.
Okay. Don't worry, man. The troll, because I noticed that you are pretty serious casting. We can troll a little bit, you know? I mean, Hira was even trolling me, you know? If you want to troll doubt, it's better than troll me, you know? So you can keep going on doubt. I love you, doubt, if you're here, but come on, man. Doubt is the way to go, it's the target. Anyway. Indeed, but really indeed. Okay, now he's doing the palace, he's repairing, he's doing... I'm talking about Leary. Everyone going castle is expected.
Yeah. Another Zahara as well, building his range towards the outside. I imagine he's not going to make any archers and go there. He's probably going to send everything to the middle. But interesting to point out as well that Zupi, he has 5 deer on the left side that he's just ignoring, which is okay because he has Malay and he can play so many farms. But still, if I was him, I would probably do a mill in that area and take those still, because knowing that the whole map, you know that you're not going to get pressured. It feels weird to leave so many deer untouched on this map where there's already a lack of resources. But like I said, he's Malay, he probably feels fine with this, and he's building both his ranges now towards the center.
Well, it's basically, I mean, the hunt like this is free food.
Indeed.
It's free food. You don't have to spend any resources to make farms, and you go and take it really easily. Now we can see how the Max is exploring the Lumberjacks from Hira. Hira has 1 archery range only. Let me check. Only 1 archery range. Okay. I believe he will do another. Or maybe not.
You might want to do... It feels to me like Hera wants to... If he wants to go fast imp, it could be an option. He only has 5 on gold, right? So that seems like one range play. He probably wants to drop town centers even. And not play fast imp by the looks of it. I can't say for sure, but yeah. I'm curious about Vilesser if he's gonna go for a castle in the middle. That's kind of the risk you have to decide. Do you want to drop the castle in the middle or make it on your hill? That's something that's gonna be interesting, as we see Nikov already going straight for the middle with a town center.
Okay, he's gonna make the castle and he's going even more forward. Oh, where he's going, man? Okay, well, he's going there, taking control of that goal. I believe that then he will make a TC there as soon as he gets the stone, because he is still with 6 villages on stone. The castle is there, and now I'm gonna check. The Max is doing 2 extra TCs right away, while Nikov is doing 2 TCs as well. Pretty much the same. And Knights, the Max, well, both are doing nice from one stable. This will now... Any upgrades for any of the players? No, no bloodlines at all. They're playing exactly the same.
Yeah, they're playing like eco-focused Arabia at the moment. I have to point out though that Viles's Castler is so risky. Now obviously they have scouted and they are aware of everything, but if Hera chopped through a little bit faster, he could have had 6 archers there and denied that castle. So it's a huge risk to take, but considering what they've scouted, they're probably feeling comfortable with it, because Max, as we pointed out earlier, he did scout the woodlines of Hera. He knew that it wasn't open there, which is probably why Velez felt comfortable going forward like this.
Yeah, but those are the situations that even if now look is nice, it's bring the Titanic into the action, you know?
Exactly.
Because the archers are coming, and it can cost you the game completely, this kind of situation. So, well, let's see.
It can cost you the game, yes, but it's also where do you rather want to have the castle, right? You want to have it in the middle where you can protect gold and keep map control there.
Okay, there's some knight now that the Max is not even paying attention, gonna lose it. No, he didn't lose well, but he's almost lost 4 HP. Now the Kongs are going, couple of Kongs. Well, here I got a lot of archers, so won't have any damage. There's some raiding. Oh, don't raiding. Yeah. Don't raiding there with the knights. And gonna lose another. Wow.
Yeah, look, you see that here I went for the extra TC. He only has 2 TCs, so he's doing university now, which is weird. He has 1 range and then going for university. It's not... You rather want to build up your numbers most of the time first. The Conquistadors from Velez are also out, so and Hera still opens. So those Conquistadors have a lot of potential here.
Yeah, and it's what you say. I mean, even if you do ballistic, that now is not going to happen because he has no resources since he did the second TC. See, if you don't have the numbers, why you want ballistic? It's not going to make any impact.
Exactly. Now we can see the walls of Nikov are actually going to be nice now because there's knights inside, but they can't do anything.
No. So. Look at the Kongs on the wood. The Kongs use in time, and now Nikov in problems. He's going to lose 1 village. He's losing second. Going to lose few villages. This is really good for Suomi because they got untouched economy, while now Hera and Nikov are falling behind.
Exactly, and this actually stems all from Max putting pressure on Hera's base and running inside. Hera had to chase those units, so his crossbows aren't on the map to help deal with the Conquistadors. Now the Conquistadors are running freely around the map and using that mobility that we were talking about earlier. And that's the thing as well, if that castle was in his base, it might not seem like a lot, but just those extra seconds of running over there actually matters quite a lot.
Yeah. Oh, he converted due to the Kong in the last second, but he killed. Man, this is a really good micro there by Velez, according to the situation. And he got only 3 Kongs.
Not a monk. Okay, you can't go for that. Yeah, the value of these Kongs have been insane. It's only 3 Kongs. He's killed a bunch of villagers, he's killed knights, monks, and forced so much idle time. And now, look at the knights from Max going all the way around from Hera's base. They might run straight into Lyra's gold.
I'm there with the scout and the 2 knights. The goal is there, and he find. Oh, Lyra noticed, I think. I don't know how, but Lyra noticed. Look at this.
Oh, okay.
How he noticed?
Yeah. Probably they knew about it, so someone has said that, hey, watch out, there might be coming, right? And then he maybe did some palisade scouting or something, but yeah, hard to say.
Okay,
Hacker
they still
confirmed.
put, map hacker guy, well, different one. You can see Supi now dealing in the middle in front of Nikov base and trying to micro. Probably the knights are coming. It's a similar fight for both. I want to ask you something. The Spanish, the Kongs here, need to add Bara and stable to make husbandry, because I think even with Teutons with that situation that don't have husbandry, it's worthy, or is too much investment for those?
I think not as early, but probably now that he has 3 TCs up and running, he can start thinking about it, right? But you don't want to. You want to get your eco up and running properly first. But if you look at the village account now, Max already has a slight lead on Nikov. Obviously, this comes from the Conquistadors. And it's going to be very interesting because Max is adding a 4th TC in the middle. He is adding another stable, just as Nikov is doing the same. So it seems like both of them are transitioning towards more heavy castlage play. And as you can see now, Lyra as well being very active with his crossbows out on the map. If Max builds up knight numbers, those crossbows can get melted. Same goes for Supi though, however, who is moving to the left side right now.
I love to see that. I want to see aggression, but look at this. He's going to Lyra. A lot of archers, and those archers are with ballistic as well. And now he need to kill village. Oh, he walled it, man. He lost only 1 village. He could lose a lot. Look at that micro. Okay, look, the kid is doing. Oh my God, he's in the disco. The kid. He's in the disco, Viper. You can see those villages dancing all over.
Yeah, indeed. And now the knights are coming in as well to support from Nikov, and they're probably going to clean this army up very cost effectively. Actually, Supi is doing a good job now. He's getting some kills. So all in all, this trade is not going to be terrible. He also idled, keep in mind, he idled 10 villagers for almost a minute here as well, which is a lot of resources. So all in all, I don't think this trade is terrible for Supi. But at the same time, look at Velez's Kongs now in the middle. They can even jump on the archers of Hera. The Kongs, they're so strong in these situations.
Yeah, and they don't have any upgrades. You can see no +1, no +2, not even bloodlines, but you can see the damage they are doing. And this is giving the game that the Max is dreaming. Free boom with the hands.
And now 4 stables up and running, and that his Knight's production is going to be out of control soon. Keep in mind that Hans also has the bonus with the stables working faster.
Viper, the Kongs were the Kongs now, Viper. Oh my god, well, the Kongs were beautiful till now. But one thing, Mr. Viper, Leary has already, with China, and we don't know how strong China can be, 75 values, Supi 65, but that's some solid advantage as a flank. But still, the max boomed right now, 100 values, 9 unit kills, 1 unit loss. He didn't take a big battle, really big battles. Now, a lot of knights will try to go Imperial as fast as possible.
Max also has 3rd relic coming in, a 4th relic on top of that, yeah. I feel like the way this game is played out, this game I feel like will be decided by the strength of the pocket. A flank being 1 minute or 2 minutes faster to imp, I feel like is less important than the pocket being strong. As Lear is moving on the left side, yeah, like I said, I feel like just having, if you have a 20 Cavalier, while the other guy has 15 Knights, that's what wins the games at this point. Although, we gotta point out, Hera is on the way to imp. So we're gonna have to see what he can do with that.
I was choosing there. And is the Byzantines, that he has a castle? No, I mean, no trebuchet, but Arvales we have seen. Arvales are, I insist, Mr. Viper, they are the new siege owners in the game right now. Because they use, with a proper micro, I mean, Arvales at this point, with the army they have both teams, they should dominate. I don't know what you think. Well, you need numbers, of course.
Of course, I'm just looking. I'm like I said, I still think this is more of a game that is decided by the strength of the pocket. And Max is now preparing for imp. They all know now. Well, not all, but Max notices that Knights cannot win this game right now in Castle Age, so he's gonna focus on imp. At the same time, if you look what Nikov is doing, Nikov added stables, he did upgrades, and he's now producing mass knights. And his Imperial Age time is gonna be way later than Max.
Yeah, so he's doing exactly what you was talking about, like, this is not the game to go for the knights, he's going for the imp, and the max is on the way to Imperial, he still have good amount of knights. This battle is a battle that you wanna take if the Kongs are coming. If the Kongs are jumping into that battle, they might take a lot, and now, all the army, their rainbow fight, and Hera going to go up to imp, and losing a lot of army too. Who is taking a better battle here? Well...
Way better for Suomi. The way Zupi might with his archers there, he just, like, the Knights of Nikov jumped on Zupi's army. Zupi ignored the Knights, just ran straight forward and sniped down every single archer of Leary. They know as well now that this game will be won or lost probably by Max in this case. So they just want to take out all the crossbows and make sure Max has as big an advantage as possible over the pocket. And Hera's on the way to imp, right? But how much armor does he have? He has 15 crossbows sitting at his home. And some at his other base, right? That's not a lot. You cannot win the game with that fast imp.
Look at Leary. I mean, Leary's going up to imp, yeah, but 5 army. I mean, no army at all. No army at all. Now Nikov noticed it in that battle, Viper, no husbandry, because he was getting all the damage all the time by Kongs and the Knights. They are going back, and the military numbers now, the Max, Vilesa, and Supi combined 73 military. Nikov here, Leary 46.
Yeah, Leary,
in a map like this.
Yeah, Hera lost the archers on the left side as well now. I mean, if you look at it though, both teams have still presence in the middle. It feels like Suomi has more map in the middle though, but still this game is far from over. And the issue is, even though Lyria has been on the way to Imperial Age now for a while, Zupi just clicked up, and he's gonna be in imp at almost the same time.
This Malay, man. Sometimes I know that it has been Malay for a while there, but since I'm classic with the game, sometimes I feel this Malay is cheating, man. I mean, it's cheating because you click there and then bam, you feel like instantly you are in him. Anyway, look how exposed. It's why Nikov is doing all the farmers here. Isn't it better to go with the farmers at the back? Look at how exposed it's all his economy.
Well, if you look at the back, Max has 2 knights and a scout there, so that's obviously dangerous. So no, yeah, I agree. There should be more farms on the top. But then again, they're kind of like throwing all their eggs in one basket. If they lose the middle, they will lose the fight anyway, so what does it matter if there's farms there?
Oh, what a battle! What a battle, Viper for Supi! What a battle for Supi, losing all the archers before reaching Imperial Age! Disaster! Supi now lost everything, Lear got more army now on the Max. The Max and the Cons forced to go back. Well, that wasn't a battle that you want to take in that situation.
It's very strange to me why they were out on the map all the way over there, right? They were all about to hit Imp, and Max is about to get his upgrades. Why was Zupi out there to begin with, right? That's the big question mark here. Still, it all comes down to what I've been talking about earlier. I think still this is decided by the pocket, and you can see Max has Paladin on the way before Nikov is on the way in even Imperial Age.
That's huge, right? I mean, Paladins versus Knights. Who is going to win, Viper? I mean, I don't know if you have to answer that, right? Because, man, crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. Hera and Leary, they did lose their significant army count as well. So, sure, they have 20, 30 Arbalests, but there's going to be 40 Paladins. And there's going to be Knights. It just doesn't seem like a fair fight, right? But of course, it's still super close, and it can go either way. They just need to take certain good fights. If you look at population, it's looking very healthy still for AM. Only the Max is ahead of them, and Velez and Supi quite far behind. But positionally, I would sort of favor Suomi right now.
Okay, and let's see if now this battle is gonna be for Suomi, man. This is almost Paladins. Just wait a little bit because Paladins are super strong. People is telling in the chat because sometimes I keep an eye. Paladins Titan will take over. Don't forget this tournament is being played in the previous patch. So here the Paladins from Titan, Mr. Viper, are not better than the Hans.
Indeed. I find it weird where Max decided to start using his trap. I see 2 buildings leader there. Maybe they saw the castles there and that's why he sieged up there. But taking out houses doesn't make sense. But here comes the Paladins, the Conquistadors are coming in behind as well. And Arbalest, where's Hera here?
Well, Hera is coming, but he's not there yet. Oh my god, that's gonna be a huge battle. The castle is not gonna be up. Doubt! We need Doubt here! This is Doubt Castle, amigo! And look at those Paladins, gonna take all the Arbalists. The spot Leo is trying to get from those Arbalists is great, but still, Arbalest from Supi, Paladin from the Max, only Cavaliers, the Trebuchet from the Max, like you say, he should go forward to kill all the buildings, but this battle, huge battle in favor to Suomi, Mr. Viper.
Exactly, and this is where you can see the mobility of the Conquistadors as well, being a heavy impact here. While Hera had to send the Arbalest all the way from the other side, Velez was there immediately with his conks, right? So, also the conks pack such a heavy punch here. If you think about the composition here, there's 2 Arbalest armies versus 1 Arbalest army and Conquistador army, and then there's Paladin and Cavalier between. You want the power of the Conquistadors to be hitting those Paladins and Cavalier.
Those conks are fully upgraded. Velez definitely did a really good game here. Also, if they were in a problem in the middle, we didn't even mention for a longer game a Spanish trade. Potentially, imagine that. You love the Spanish trade, man. In Donut 50 trade card, such a cheater, this Viper. Look at those Arbalists taking those. Well, we don't talk about that because you got more Paladin, more Trebuchet than Village from Leaks. That's not acceptable, Mr. Viper. You have to play a little bit in 4th year, man. Anyway, focus here and, man, they're taking the game. Look at the score. It's exploding with this advantage with the army composition and that attack. And now Nikop, because of the farmers there, is losing everything.
Indeed, I'm looking at upgrades as well. Both Leary and Hera are missing armor upgrades on their Arbalest as well. Which is something that is quite strange at this point in the game. But yeah, there's just too many Paladins. There's no Paladin for Nikov. It's on the way, obviously, but he has to spend all the Cavalier in order to try and defend. And he lost all the Cavalier in the process. And Hera is adding Halberdier himself, so that's where the upgrades have been focused. So it makes sense. But still, if you look at the armor compositions here, which armor composition do you want?
Well, obvious, and this is game over. This is absolutely game over. And in this one, the same that in the first game, they played really smooth by AM. We can say now the same from Suomi. And Mr. Piper, you were right, man. The Kongs actually, in my opinion, did the game advantage for Suomi because the Max did a free game boom completely.
Exactly. It was a chain reaction, actually, from the first 2 nights of Max getting into Hera's base, meaning Hera chased those knights, obviously, to begin with, which then again allowed Velez to send his conch straight to pocket, which is what you want, because you want to avoid the ranged units. And Velez was just able to roam freely with the conchs, do enough damage to put Max significantly ahead, and obviously Max is a player that will take advantage of such a thing happening, right? And he clearly did here as well. While Zupi obviously did his job against Leary, just held, made sure they were on even terms, even though there was one misstep in there where he lost his whole army just as he got imp. But still, the team play from Suomi in dictating the fights towards the later stages of the game was spot on.
Okay, who do you I mean, it's hard to say, but in really late game, in similar circumstances, and we check in the meanwhile the achievements, do you think AM, because people say no, AM has probably better play individually, but in late game, this Suomi team can compete with anyone, I believe, in really late stage, with trade running and everything, right?
They can compete in Dark Age and Feudal Age and Castle Age as well. It's the level of gameplay from all these players is so high that, again, I have to specify, it's more about team coordination, team decisions in terms of strategies, and less about maybe per se individual skill level, right? Like Yin Yang, look at Yin Yang, for example, in the group stage. I would say in just skill, they're probably the worst team in our group. But their team strategies were great, their teamwork together was awesome, and they definitely show that that's more important than the pure skill. And well, yeah, there's always been the talk of AM have such great individual players, which they do, but teamwork and the whole synergy, everything I'm bringing up here, is way more important in a team game.
Okay, and we are now checking the achievements. The Max, largest army, 60. Look at the kills he did, the economy. The Max with the most food, the most gold. Well, he got a free boom game. Even like that, Nico was close there in terms of food. Of course, super behind in gold because he lost a lot at the end. And then the Max was still adding freely all the time. Sometimes the statistics are a little bit boost of what the game was. And Leo got 45 damage, Supi 76. Malai really strong. Difficult to come back from that Conquistador Rush from Velez, that Velez also did 34-minute transition to Imperial Age, that going with Conks, he was Imperial Viper even faster than Nico, for example, that was, and I put in quotes, boobing, because he did a lot of farming too, but that time, when you're doing Conks, it's pretty solid.
Indeed, and yeah, just I think the strategy from Suomi here really worked out. Again, if there was no way for those knights to get into Hera's base to begin with, we might have seen a completely different game, because then Hera could have focused his whole crossbow army towards the middle, which would have helped him and Nico work together to deal with the conks and the knights of the opponent team. But obviously, like I said, such a small thing as 2 knights and 1 scout getting into a base can set off such a chain reaction that just rolls like one event to the next one, and it just kind of snowballs. It's such a small thing, right? Still, it's just 2 knights getting into a base, and that sets off this whole wheel of motions.
And sometimes you don't, for those small things, you don't recover from there.
Exactly. It's such a small thing. That just shows again how high level there is of these players in this game, where such small things can have such an impact.
Okay. Well, being said that, guys, Viper said, and we believe what you say, Viper, so be careful with what you say, amigo. Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. AM versus
Oregon
Suomi.
guns are the best unit.
You see, be careful what you say. AM versus Suomi, game number 3 incoming. Okay, guys, there we go, game number 3. Here we are. Now it's very important, because who is taking now the 2-1 in those kind of series can be decisive, but definitely not definitive. 7, 8, 9, 10, let's go. And Mr. Viper, Colosseum map. We see many team walls, but here, action guaranteed. And then, let's see the civilizations. I want to really know your opinion about this, because I really think in this map, Magyar's pocket shine a lot.
Indeed, the extra damage output in the early phase of feudal age can be really crucial here. But first thing to point out is that AM did go for Mongols here, and you can see the scouts of AM. Both the scouts are in the enemy base already. Leary, actually, it was very strange by Zupi here. He sent two of his starting goats to scout forward, which is extremely strange considering the civilizations here. That doesn't make any sense. He did get one of the goats stolen, the other one he managed to get back, so all in all. But look at Hera. Hera went all the way to Zupi and is now stealing the boar. So even the pocket is getting on the laming action without even finding his own resources.
Wow, and you can see that they got here Portuguese, so they wanted to have a, like, I don't know, Portuguese because of early cartography in this kind of map?
For sure, it's the whole, like, there's so much action going on in this map where there's so much depends on the early phase of the game, right? And then having Cardo from the start really helps everyone. But Mongols, you can see, their scouting vision, the laming potential is huge here. There's already 1 boar less for Zupi, 1 goat less. And that's such a big deal, especially considering that there's a Mongol involved here.
Yeah, absolutely. But the max, look at the max, where, oh, look at Zupi. Seems this is so close. He's luring with the Villier.
But there's
and
2
the
scouts of AM there as well.
Yeah,
this is such a risky move.
But why he's trying to lure without the loom even? Well, he's taking it. And he's gonna take it, man. He's taking the rhino.
I think they wanted to have 1 scout to block the rhino so the villager wouldn't take damage, but he should be fine either way. The loom is already upgraded, so he was kind of relying on that.
I'm
but
Zupi.
yeah, sorry, go on.
Supi was there, sorry Viper, because he was trying to get the other Rhino, and for one tile he could take the other, and that's why Leary took already the Rhino. Look, and the Rhino is going back now. Okay, he's luring. Look, go.
Yeah, it turns out the laming has been all in all quite equal, and actually you would have to say that even the laming has gone in favor of Suomi. Suomi still have full HP on their scouts, and they are on the equal terms in terms of laming, right? The only difference is that I think Leary got one more sheep compared to Zupi, but besides that, I think everyone are on equal terms.
Do you think? Check Villet's base, check TC, and look at the ships.
Okay, I take that back.
I was sure that you weren't going to tell that, and I was okay. He didn't see the 10 goats under the TC, man. What the hell? He limited everything to MBL. Did the labor boy get... Well, MBL got 3 under the TC.
Yeah, that's actually quite confusing to me, because I would imagine he has even less... I wonder if Hera might even have sent 2 sheep here, potentially. Because I feel like MBL, considering the amount of sheeps Villes have, I feel... Oh, no, never mind, because Villes did eat... Oh, MBL is running into the town center! What? He's killing his own goats! What?
Okay, but what the hell? He was trying, he killed 1 or 2, and now he lost the scout. Well, MBL, what can this mean in this map? Losing in minute 6 when nothing happened at all, and no scout anymore for MBL.
Yeah, this early game has played out hugely in favor of Suomi right now. MBL lost his scout, obviously he did kill 2 of the goats, but those were his own goats. It doesn't matter for Villes,
exactly.
Right?
Well,
And
he killed Viper.
Yeah, and now he doesn't have a scout. Well, Villes still has a scout. MBL's going for a drush again here. This is a really early drush as well. It's not going to be Man at Arms. So his feud list time is going to be quite late here, and that's a little bit surprising to me considering how open this map is and how vulnerable you would be to archers and scouts, etc.
Because if here Draz fast castle is not a choice. It's not an option.
Sure. I assume he wants to hit the woodlines early on, right? But it's already 7 minutes. The woodline of Villes is fully walled. Of course, he could go to the pocket, but he has to walk 24 miles to get there, right? So, to me, it's a bit of a strange decision here that he's going for the drush. And you know what? They already scouted it as well, so no one is going to be surprised by this.
Okay, well, Slavs, the max. Well, Slavs is always solid. They got the bonus. They will shine according to the game it keep going. You know, I prefer, like we said, Magyars, cheaper scout, also with forging. Both are going up. And now I'm going to focus Viper on the left because I'm really curious to see what MBL can do here. Because look at his resources. It's not close to go up.
Yeah, I mean, he has seven villagers on food, so he's going to be able to click up at a reasonable time still. Doing a mill now on the stone to take the stone to the mill, but Militia's going to find absolutely nothing here. He's obviously going to take the deer, but yeah. I feel weird about this, but at the same time, if he manages to buy enough time with those things, not the end of the world.
Okay, well, we will see. Now he's moving into the pocket. And with those militias, he's probably going to deny the potential stable for the mask. He will need to be careful. The max is there with the scout. Now he finds all the militias. He's running into the TC. He's gonna eat the town center, and oof, almost. But he moved fast.
Yeah, and they have cartography for free already, everyone, right? So everyone sees those militia. It's not like Max is getting surprised by this either. I have to point out there's not a lot of walling going on here. Both teams are trying to wall, at least the AM players are trying to wall to the corner, to the woodlines, to force the action through the middle, but not too much of that yet. Leary did go for a range and blacksmith immediately, so he wants to get fletching really fast. Fletching is already on the way. He's mixing in a spearman as well, so it's going to be like a 2 archer, 1 spearman push, and Tupi doesn't even have an archer range.
Wow, well, that can be really aggressive and really, really dangerous because, like you said, he's doing the archery range. Now he's going to lose the scout. He didn't. He's gonna try to make a house that it won't happen. And now those berries, and it's most of his food incoming. It's gonna be bye-bye.
Yeah, he still has a couple of goals in the town center, so it's not the end of the world, and all he needs is like 1 or 2 skirms out. But that's the thing, you'd think you'll be fine with 1 or 2 skirms, but Leary already has fetching. So, it's such a tiny army that he has right here is causing so much damage. This is why Mongols is so scary on this map as well.
Well, it's very similar what in this map Tato did to Paladin. He went super fast in the previous series. I don't know, do you remember that game? And he did exactly what now AM is doing to Suomi. Exactly this.
AM has obviously been watching our games. But important point out here as well is that MBL actually got good value out of the militia. They fought against the scouts, and the scouts of Max now have lost a lot of HP already. So this is turning out to be suddenly really, really good for AM.
Yeah, man, the fletching it's huge again in comparison with the army that don't have, and in that daily game that there's not a lot of farming even more. Look how much damage is doing Leo with 3 archers.
Yeah, and it's also that one single spearman makes sure that Max cannot just jump on this army as well. Hera is there as well, while Viles has just got his range up and running, right? And MBL is in time to be fine himself, so this has turned out really, really rough for AM, for Suomi.
Soupy. 22
Soupy in
Viper.
particular. Yeah, and if Leary wants to, he can just go straight to the woodline now and force a tower from Soupy there, to then just return to the goal again. Zupi has nowhere to take gold right now.
Yeah, and doing skirmishes also doesn't help a lot when you have scouts around, right? And no fletching at all. Also, you delayed your economy if you want to go up to Castle. Of course, this is really too far from going to happen because it's 14 minutes only. But man, this is dangerous. And now, Viles is trying to make some damage to MBL. MBL has army? No, not a lot. He's starting to do it now. But what to do now? They should try to go aggressive into Hera because at this point, Soupy is super behind. Maybe they should try to make damage on the spot.
Yeah, they are trying to counterattack now. At the same time as Lyria is coming in on Max, you can see what this has forced as well. It has forced Max to have to take stone and start towering up his base. Obviously, there's action going on everywhere now. That's what you expect of this map. And Domi needs to do damage here to Hera. There's no question about that.
They're going with the scout, the Max and Viles together, but like you say, now the good thing that Leo has is that he don't need to focus too much anymore into Subi, at least for a while, because he went to the pocket. Now I'm gonna check, and they are on Hera. Hera's still not on goal, he's manning now. He's with some archers around. Viles is going there, they need to make some damage to Hera. He still didn't kill anything, and Hera's paying attention. He got the scout, those scout got obviously forging, one plus attack, nothing yet to the Max. Should the Max now commit a lot in feudal age, according to this situation, Viper?
Well, it depends on how you want to approach this right now. Do you want to just leave Zupi behind and try to get strong yourself, or do you want to try and bring him into the game, right? Now, Max and Viles are trying to run towards Leary as well, but the issue for them is that Leary already has a decent amount of numbers.
Viper! The wood on purple, he don't have a tower because he did on the goal, and now look at this, sorry that I interrupt you, but look at this disaster on his wood, amigo. Oh my god, he's out of the game, man.
He's completely out of the game. Even this army he sends to deal with this is a worse army than what Leary has, so he will just get cleaned up there. And like I said as well, they're trying to go now on Leary, but Leary has enough numbers, MBL is coming, Hera has more scouts and better upgrades than Max. They're gonna clean up that and take no damage at all, and it's just snowballing out of control here for Zupi.
Yeah, because it's kind of 3 versus 2 right now, right?
3 versus 1 almost. It's just... There's minus points for Zupi at this point.
Oh wow. Look at Viles. Look at Viles now losing all the archers. He's trying to go away. They got a lot of farming at this point. Well, 38 army in total, 32, but they are also combined out together. They are going like a team here. Well, now they can't be together, not because they don't want, just because they are getting killed.
Yeah, and you can see Max they realized there's no way to win or take a good fight there, so Max just even left Viles to die there and escaped with his scouts, which is a good decision, I think. There's now 8 scouts at Max. Ooh, Hera deleted the wall to his base.
What?
He closed it again.
Okay, yeah, but he's inside with the scout and he can now break it. He's gonna try, of course, and he's in, and now he can... what was that? Yeah, he's gonna lose some villies. Well, that's the only way that maybe can come back, but Viper, Leary is on the way to Castle Age, man. Now he can just go to the pocket and bye-bye.
Yeah, the thing here as well is, even though Max did, in theory, some damage to Hera now, Hera did clean it up with not the biggest investment himself. He maybe lost 2 or 3 villas on the woodline, but I guarantee you he has no issues with that whatsoever. He's now going to have 7-8 scouts on the way to Castlage, which I'm sure he's not on the way to Castlage, sorry, but he's going to have 7-8 scouts now while he transitions towards Castlage. and that army is enough to buy time for whatever they want to do next. And as you already pointed out, there is on the way to Castle Age. He has enough army to pack a punch, and if you look at Zupi's economy.
What economy?
Exactly.
I love to say that. Thank you, Viper. Okay. Well, Hira, Mr. Viper has the resources, only missing the buildings, doing the blast with now another stable. He go to Castle Age. Yeah, he got towers at home, but the Max, well, Max will go up soon because his Slav's economy is so strong. But behind, also behind with the pocket, this is looking really close to the 2-1 for AM.
Yeah. Viles is on the way to Castle Age himself, but MBL is there as well shortly after, so there's no big difference there. Like Zupi is now trying to make a market. You would imagine in all times this would be for a sling, but he's actually going to buy his way to Castle Age as Hera jumps on the army of Viles here under a tower and archers. It's a little bit strange, but yeah, I'm not sure. Considering that they're on the way to Castle Age as well, this is a weird decision for me, but I think they feel super confident with everything that's gone down so far. And you can see now, Viles is chasing the army. He has to idle all his gold. He might lose a couple of villagers here. And everything is just going exactly according to plan for AM. As Leary comes in on Max's gold as well at the same time. Full disaster now for Suomi.
I don't understand in these situations why they don't make a couple of towers more. I mean, the Max did it, but now Leary is there. And the Max can still going because he got the tower. Still cannot take the gold properly. And has one tower in the wood. He got towers all over the map. But without the towers, it's impossible. And you need towers, but Viles need towers too. That's why he could be in a decent situation. Right now, he's in Castle Age, 57 just look at the numbers in Villiers. 37, 38, 35. All AM quite ahead in Villiers numbers. Military also ahead, not that much anymore, but so complicated in this situation.
Yeah, and the argument for towers is in theory right, but at the same time you have to think then that to invest into towers, you need to put builds on stone, you need to invest into building those towers, and even though there you have towers, look at this gold, you're not safe just because you have towers, right? So you invested economy into getting the towers up, which also puts you in theory behind, and you can see this whole game snowballs from Lear. Like Lear is running under the town center of Zupi now as well. I'm not sure if that's on purpose, probably not, but there were so few villagers garrison that he actually got some kills under there.
Okay.
But yeah, there's just like it's hard to see a way back for Zupi here.
Yeah, I was focusing also in the other arches that he's going to the wood line, and then you told me that he was eating the TC.
Yeah.
TCs, right? And he's going again. He's starving, man. Look at this. Okay.
Yeah. There is
nice,
doing a really good job here, like multitasking. He's forcing attention from Zupi on the town center. At the same time, he ran in the woodline and sniped 2 villagers. So Leary knows exactly what he's doing here, and it's definitely doing the damage.
Okay, so well, population difference is really solid. The Max 37 villages is really behind than Hira. Well, everyone is behind. Not only one. If there was one from Suomi that you say, okay, he has the possibility to kill one of them, but they are all 3 behind right now. So in that situation is poof.
Yeah. And this is the map where you would expect AM to shine, right? And Leary just keeps doing this thing. He's sniping units under the town center, and at the same time he picks up builds on stone or wood, and he's just been doing this for the last 2 minutes now. As you can see on Max now, they're jumping under the tower, they're feeling so confident. MBL has more numbers than Viles now as well. Even though Viles might have more archers, they're separated, so MBL can decide which way to go and where to fight. And look again, Viles has to idle his whole gold. They have to chase the army to the left side again. Well, look at AM's base. Well, you don't have to look. There's nothing there. Because all the action is happening in Suomi's base.
It's perfect, man. I'm surprised that the score difference is not like 1,000 right now. But, well, they are doing an amazing job. They are going really coordinated in this game. And being the Colosseum, that's really complicated. And they are doing great.
Yeah, again, they're on Max's gold. They force Max to micro against the army on the left, and then Hera sent knights in on the gold on Max's gold. And yeah, even though they're going to lose this army now in the back, they're still taking an amazing trade, and they're forcing attention, which then again leads to, if you look at the right side, Leary is now in Max's space again, and it's just a constant, it's like a never-ending wheel here. They kill this army, well, there's a new army on the right side again. They kill that army, well, there's another army, and it's just never-ending here.
All the time, and the village is different increased. Military numbers, if they are trading, they keep more or less similar for everyone, you know. Similar for everyone. I don't know if he said to you that Leo is in castle, but what is happening is that the game is over. Yeah. Okay. Well, clear domination here with Leary going that quick with one archery range and plasmid. Usually the standard, right, Viper is double archery range, then you go, but he just sent 3 arches super quick thanks to the Mongols, and from there that was the game from AM basically, because they pushed completely.
Yeah, they really capitalized on the early initiative they had there. Look again, if you look, Leary, he's now microing against Super's archers in the middle. At the same time, he has 16 crossbows on Super's stone. It was just like constant multitasking here, constant forcing reactions while hitting at multiple spots. Supi actually had enough stone for dropping a castle, but obviously, where do you drop it? Maybe that was like their type of desperation move now, was like, okay, we're dead, let's try to drop a castle in their face or something like that, and try to come back like that. But yeah, AM gave them no time to breathe here, and I would say, like, I was not a big fan of the Drush from MBL, but it actually didn't do too bad because it took HP from the scouts, and MBL transitioned fast enough that he had everything he needed to deal with whatever Velez threw at him, and he contributed a lot to the battles going forward after that.
And to be honest, if we check the transition to Castle Age, to Feudal Age, sorry, MBL did 11 minute 59, Velez 10:06, but do you remember a moment that Velez attacked MBL at home? I don't.
No, because they were forced to deal damage elsewhere, right? Because of the damage Supi took. Velez had felt like, okay, we have to go to Hera. We have to go to Leary. And obviously, they didn't get any damage done there either. If anything, they even lost their armies there for nothing. So, but then again, that's the thing. You feel you're forced to do damage to enable to come back into the game. And you have to take risks. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes not. And in this case, it definitely did not pay off for Suomi.
Yeah, well, 2-1. What I'm surprised that in this map, Viper, Suomi didn't do walls like, for example, we can see now on AM, because they got also this aggression because they didn't do any wall. Look at Supi, he never wall anything.
Yeah, that is true. However, the wall would be super far, and the pressure did come in really fast, right? Normally, you would like to maybe get your army like archery ranges up first, and then get some army out, and then finish the walls. I know some teams like to get the walls up earlier. We have done it as well, particularly started walling in Dark Age already. But there is definitely the case to be made for walling earlier, especially if you're against Mongols like this. But that's the thing as well. You invest those 2-3 bills to walling up earlier, you're gonna be even further behind Mongols economically, military-wise. Like, you're delaying yourself even further. So you're kind of hoping that, I think Supi here just wanted to be, okay, I'm just gonna go full ranges, get enough army to deal with this, and hope that will be enough. But obviously, Leary did punish really well with Mongols here.
An amazing job by Mr. Leary. With 39 largest army, he killed the most. Velez killed the most too, but that doesn't matter. I mean, the numbers is just, we check sometimes, but this is more about, the timing and the execution, because, the match got the most food. He was slaps, but that doesn't really matter, because at the end, he killed 18 units and lost 34, while Hera 33 kills, 19 unit loss only. You can see all the times up there that even if MBL was the lowest or the slowest to go Feudal Age, it didn't matter at all, and they got the game. Guys, game number 3 has been done. Now we're moving to the game number 4.
One more thing to point out there is, yes, Velez had a lot of kills, right? But where did he kill things? He killed, all his kills came in the backside of his base.
Yeah.
And it looks great on paper, it doesn't really bring you much.
Yeah, exactly. Well, game number 4, amigos, is gonna be in nothing, in a couple of minutes. And now, with the Viper here, that motivates me even more. Game number 4, Suomi versus AM, and Rubenstock is in the house. Why Rubenstock is in the house? Because this map is just crazy. You can see all visible now. We are in number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go, Mr. Viper. And, well, where to look here? I don't know where to go to start here. Civilizations, and let's check fast.
Oh, Persians, Lithuanians, and Goth for Suomi. Persian Pocket is probably the best civ for this map. Lithuanians is also one of the civs you normally see as pocket here, but they're actually being used as flank here. And if you look already, look at Velez. He's building a barracks at minute 0.
What the hell? And minute 0, you were right. I mean, it's out of the vision. Oh, but they have spotted already. Leary did it already. He has spotted. I am on Leary point of view. The camel was there, Well, you spot it here most of the times. And now the good thing, when you are in latest stage, right? Maybe in the early stage you get surprised, but now the meta is like more clear in every map.
It is, and you can see Rubenstock as well. Now he's sending a villager out. He's probably going to do a barracks himself, I would assume. Yep, there's a barracks for Rubenstock as well. Also serving a little bit as a wall, so that's a very nice position. The thing here is, the reason why this is so scary is because the militia is now on the way for Velez, and the camels are so fast and so easy to micro and block walls with, which makes this super scary. Of course, Leary knew it was coming, so he's already reacted to this, but those militia... This is minute 2.5. There's 2 militia on the map, 3 militia. This is something that, even though it's in theory just militia and they can't do too much, look at Leary's villager. The one villager he walled in cannot work. He only has 2 on wood, which means he's now sent the villager to make a dock, but his fishing ship production is going to suffer because of this. And he can continue now on to Hera, for example, because he cannot do anything to Leary anymore. And then Hera suddenly is going to have to struggle with the militia there while he would like to make docks and fishing ships and all that stuff. Rubenstock is going to do the same on the other side, but for some reason... Oh, MBL went quite far with his... Actually, MBL's map is really awkward here. His closest woodline is so far away.
I'm checking MBL and I don't even... Wow, look at the wood where it is. Damn. That's super far. And I also wanted to ask you about the Bactrian camel. These camels, since they don't have colors and they are like the same, of course you need to put instantly in a hotkey, but you don't get confused sometimes. I'm like, where's my camel? Because if you forget the hotkey or you unclick by mistake, it's complicated, man. Like all the same colors it makes it even more messy in my opinion, and it's going super fast, the camel. And now Rubenstock is starting to lame completely walling the goal.
Yeah, and there's only 1 gold close to your town center. Like you can see, Leary's gold is actually super exposed as well, and I kind of expect Velez to wall that because that is the only gold he in theory has access to this early on. What is going on now? MBL is sending 2 villagers to Hera's town center. I'm very confused by this move right now.
He's going for Zebras?
That's weird though. I guess it's the dock. But why 2 villagers?
Oh, he's housed forever. MBL, Leary, Viper.
MBL, Leary, Hera, Viper.
I don't know. I'm confused as well as a caster, you know, because I don't know where to look. The water has also a really important role here, and mostly even for the pockets if they try to go castles. And here, what? Feudal Age or castle is by the pockets, because
castle was always better, right? But there are moments and situations where scouts from pocket will definitely be able to get enough damage to justify it, but of course you always want your pocket in castle age if possible. But what Rubenstock is doing here is so annoying for them right now. Look at Velez as well. He's walling in the gold of Leary, so in theory now Leary and Hera has to share gold in the back if they want to have like the closest accessible gold. And even walling the berries is so annoying because MBL wants to do a mill at some point. Where is he supposed to do the mill? There's nowhere.
Yeah, where the F's not. Yeah, well, they are trying to make again the life easier for the max. Like, let's try to make a mess game here completely, go all in, and then the max Persians with already 2 dogs. Viper in the south, 2 dogs already, and the Persians bonus, huge, man, huge for Persians.
I'm looking now, so oh look, Hera did a dock now on the left side as well, which I don't mind, but they built the dock so close, they're pretty much going to be sharing the same fish. It's a bit strange to me. MBL's villagers actually found some gold on the top left of the map, so that's where they went. He also did a second lumber camp on the right side, but he only got 2 villagers in there, because the militia of Rubenstock are there. And look, Rubenstock is walling him in, which means this is something that archers can kill easily as the game goes on, or maybe dropping a tower there, right? MBL has no way to get those out if Rubenstock finishes the wall.
And he's the only wood he has, no? I mean, the stragglers and those lumber... Well, but MBL is going up, quick, really quick. Oh, with the kills. And what is he going to do now? I'm checking if he's doing also malicious men-at-arms. I don't know.
Yeah. He has a barracks there, so you'd imagine it would be militia since he went so early to get that extra goal on the top side. So men-at-arms is what makes sense here, but... You're looking at Rubenstock walling in that. Rubenstock is also sending a Vil to the top side because he wants to dock that and take control of that lake. But they don't know that there is no one there. So, and look at the lesson left side. He's docking the pond of Leary and Hera, and they should be able to see that actually. No, they don't. You don't see it.
Fog of War? No, man. With the
So
two houses,
close.
even nothing, man. What the hell?
But
I
the
mean,
crazy-
this kind of move, Viper is just luck or is on purpose because they don't see anything, not even the palisades.
Yeah, it's mostly luck, I would say, but wouldn't surprise me if the Finnish guys have been like studying. Okay, the house has this amount of tile of sight, so let's do that and that, right? But I'm looking at Hera's situation right now. Hera has 26 pop. He has 3 fishing ships. Look at Max. Max has so much more population. Even if Max is going fast castle now, he could still even just switch to feudal age and he would be in such a bad position here. But of course, this also stems from the annoying. Look, Velez walled in the gold of Hera as well. This annoying, and Rubenstock is towering both woodlands of MBL and Hera in the same go here. This early drush and laming approach is paying off so much for for Suomi right now.
I mean, Piper, I'm casting and I feel annoyed in the players. I mean, it's annoying to feel like I cannot control. Look at the economy from here, Mr. Viper. So, I mean, like 20,000 villages just walking in the exactly. That's what I want to see, Viper. Casting like a pro. And look at those. I mean, yeah, man, he got nothing there. And I'm going to switch to the Max. Look at Max already. Gonna go up to castle it in 12 minutes 16 seconds.
And Velez is being annoying on the left side. And look at Hera's mill. He has 12 villagers in the town center. The militia that Rubenstock made at the start of the game have been so useful in feudal age because he turned them into men-at-arms. And Hera did try to make a mill on the berries, but the men-at-arms were there. And now the tower is gonna go up, and Hera's just gonna be like shaking his head in frustration here. Because he's the pocket, he wants to have a smooth game. To go scouts, whatnot. Now he goes to the barriers, but there's a tower there. This is such a disaster. This is Rubenstock.
This Rubenstock, man, he infect everyone, man. And look, well, Lear is trying to make some damage now on Velez, going with the archers. I don't know if Velez, Lear is doing the market. I don't know if he's to balance the economy or just to see what's going on because he doesn't know where to look anymore. Well, he's doing a good damage here. That guy's fletching. He got the fletching. Forced him to make a tower, Velez. Velez is doing the tower. He's doing some... but he got the skirmishes. Here, the key is that
Look at the
Max...
right side.
Yeah, I'm checking there too. Okay, MBL and now with the scouts doing some damage. Here with Hera, but nobody attacked the Max. Still.
Yeah, that's the problem. Max is gonna be castle age, and they're gonna have 3 archers and 3 skirms and 2 scouts. Yeah. Max needs 1 knight and he cleans all that up. Sure, he has Evil Idol as gold right now, but look at his pawn. He has so many fishing ships still. That's 12 fishing ships working. That's more than the whole AM team combined. And he's in castle age. This is a situation where they just think, okay, let's put Max in the position to carry. And this is like typical Suomi strategy as well. It's like weird, annoying that you don't really expect. And it puts Max in a prime position to just dominate with a real powerful civilization.
Ooh, and those knights are already with bloodlines and escape by the number. He don't even have double B-tags, course collar, who need upgrades, right? When you are that ahead. And now need to mind the goal because obviously with double stable husbandry even imagine in this kind of situation and all the economy in this map. When you see that all the economy in this map is pure farmers in a spot that they can't even see it, something is not going well from AM.
Yeah, look at Hera's resources as well right now. While Max is in castle age with 1 million fishing ships, Hera he has 200 food now, but the TC is idle, right? But look at the amount of spearmen they have to add now just to try and keep their woodlands safe from raiding. And the worst part is, if they want to expand and take more gold, they have to spread so far out on the map that it's going to be so exposed to raiding. Look at the right side as well now, the lumber camp MBL. The villagers desperately running around to avoid the fire and trying to stay active.
Okay. Oh, the knights at the hold, yes! Mr. Viper, look at the knights now. Only 1 spear, he's going with the village trying to kill. No, man, this disaster is complete disaster for Hera, losing absolutely everything. Gonna only need to kill that spear, and as well, more spears are coming. But man, he's gonna lose everything there. Losing a lot.
Indeed. I hate to be that guy, but I feel like we're ready for the next game.
Yeah.
Of course it's early, but it's like, it's just...
Nah, the score here, look.
Yeah.
Go.
The thing is, Rubenstock and Velez sort of sacrificed themselves to do damage and put themselves in this position, right? But usually, in most games, that comes at a cost, where there is some sort of counter damage or some sort of negative compensation for doing these things. In this game, Velez has barely taken damage at his base. Rubenstock has barely taken damage at his base. There's no compensation for AM. There's just everything is going wrong at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to check resources. Lear is gathering some economy to go up. Now Hira, but yeah, they have food, but they don't have gold. Hira, 5 gold.
Yeah. Like, where is Lyra taking gold as well? He's taken all the way up the docks, and that's the reason why Lyra is in somewhat of an okay spot, is because he's had the fishing ships alive, right? But look at him and Hera are still sharing the fish, the close fish. That fish is so far away right now already, and yeah, it's like Lyra cannot produce constant archers from 2 ranges with 5 on gold.
Viper, the nice now on MBL is the pro. I mean, they are all the time raiding, taking this. That's the way to go. And look at those knights. He's killing. Well, they are producing a lot of farming. They are not giving up. They keep going. And now Leary on the way to Castle Age.
Yeah, they shouldn't give up because Leary is in an okay spot still. But the issue for them is that Leary, he has 5 archers. He wants to transition to crossbow. And there's counter units on the map already. Velez has skirms. Max has knights which will get +2 damage as well because they're Persian knights, and Max already has extra town centers on the map as well. The main thing here that is against AM, well, would have been against Suomi rather, is that they didn't have fish. But look at the top pond now. Rubenstock has 2 dock fish booming on the top side even, so even that is looking more and more in favor of Suomi right now.
Yeah, well, I'm checking population. Population is still similar, but the problem here is that the Max will keep growing and growing his economy. 55 villages. He doesn't have a lot of farming, but he will have to do some army because now, well, it's true that we were talking like only 1 archer race for Leary. Where?
Look at it. Look at Hera's resources. He had 1,300 food. Yeah, now he's up, so it looks good now.
Okay, he was selling some, but he has.
Yeah.
He got the gold from the food. 0 on gold, huh?
Yeah, he now found gold though, so he's sending 7 bills to take gold on top side. But this is what I mean. They've expanded now so far to take gold, and look, Max is on the look. He's looking with knights, and there's MBLs exposed, Hera's exposed. Of course, they have a ton of spearmen now, so it's likely that they'll be fine. But while they're making spearmen to defend, Max is just booming away like a madman.
Yeah, I mean, the Max has right now 20 villages more than the best in AM. 43, 63, and double the villages than MBL, for example. So if now he's just adding even more stables and spam knights, that's it, basically. Or even a siege war sub. Well, Leary did a siege war sub. What is he pretending to do with the siege war sub when Mangonel? Well, the Max will clean it easily.
That's the thing as well. The Mangonel, that's all his gold. He doesn't have army. Like, he's making pikemen to support it. But the issue now is that Velez is also on the way to Castle Age, so he will be able to make some sort of units to support. Of course, Hera is on the way to Castle Age as well, MBL is on the way to Castle Age, Rubenstock as well. So everyone, surprisingly, will hit Castle Age. But the point here is still the lack of gold. This makes it so awkward for AM. Of course, they are transitioning to gold now. But even though you get onto gold now, your transition is still very awkward. Look at the left side, Lyra's woodline. Full disaster.
Oh man.
There is no woodline.
No, there's nothing anymore. He lost all the villages there. And because Leary, like you said, he found that goal really far from the action, and that's why he was in a better position. Otherwise, and sometimes the exploration in this map is obviously crucial, but the lag is also there. And let's see where they are going. I'm trying to see. The Max only is 10. He's booming, Viper. He's booming.
But there's no units on the map that is a threat to him. Why wouldn't he, right?
Yeah.
One thing to point out as well is that he killed the camel. He's gonna kill the spearman up there on the top, so he's not gonna get in and build walling time. But the walling the Suomi guys did at the start as well, in theory, could have kickstarted them even further ahead because there's a big chance Leary wouldn't have access to gold, for example. So therefore, when Velez docks the left lake, there's a big chance they won't be able to make fires to deal with Velez's fires. Now, obviously, Leary did get on gold, so he did have fire ships out to defend it. But I'm saying the theory here is that if everything goes to plan, there's no gold to even make fires to defend with.
Yeah, and he's coming. Well, he's a total disaster right now. They keep going, and the score difference, I mean, surprisingly, is very, very close. And now, be careful now, Viper, because the army that is starting to make, it's a little bit scary. 2 mangonels, a lot of pikes. So maybe now what AM need to do, well, full aggression, because they see the score from the Max, which is scary, but the others, they are pretty much like them. they need to go all in. Seems the map is that close. Maybe they can do some damage. What do you think?
Obviously, they have to do something, right? They know they have to do something. The problem I see for them is that Velez is now contributing to middle with skirms. He has faster moving skirms even with Lithuanians. He's gonna have monk support. And Max is just adding another town center behind. He's adding stables behind. He has a seed workshop as well. So even though they are putting on the pressure now through the center, just that they're not dealing any significant blow, right? This is just Max and them are buying so much time. Even Max has double HP on the town center because he's Persian, right?
Oh yeah.
2 knights from Hera now diving in. It's gonna get converted, probably 2 of them. And then we can jump into the town center, and he lost 0 monks. Of course he lost the Mangonel, but still. Nice target fire from Leary.
Okay. Yeah, well, remember that those monks got also redemption, so he can convert even the Mangonels now. Once he convert the siege, well, let's see. Now we see how MBL is pushing on Rubenstock TC as well, trying to make all the damage. So now, in this situation, don't go to Imp, just start to spam knights. And this is what the Max is doing right now. Double stable, he got 100 villages, 5 town centers, Mr. Viper, 5 TCs only. Well, 5 TCs, more town centers than all AM combined.
Yes, it's many town centers as the whole other rest of the game, actually.
Yeah.
Rubenstock is doing husk calls as well, so there's just whatever AM is about to throw at them, they're gonna have a counter for absolutely everything.
I'm speechless. War Galley upgrade, okay. He's doing, I don't know. 3 Mangonels, crossbows. Well, they are still doing a lot of farming, but here we go with the Max. How many knights he's sending? That's not enough. There's a lot of pikes. Oh! I didn't notice, man. Huge scouts incoming.
I just told you.
I'm sorry, man.
Listen to me.
No, because I muted you for a second.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
No. I confused, man, completely. You told me about the huge scout. What I'm thinking about? Man, your boy is just disaster. Man, I don't know where to look, man. I don't know where to look. And really, you told me?
I did tell you.
I have to check the bot.
One thing to point out is the War Galley upgrade you mentioned. It's because MBL is taking control of the top pawn, but the thing is that doesn't really matter that much anymore, right? They are doing a huge push now on the Lesser Town Center, and the pikemen are scary. And actually, they're getting a significant damage in there, but I'm still just looking at that villager count. Max has more vills than all of AM almost alone. And that's just something that is going to be so hard to overcome at any point in this game.
Well, Viper, you know, look at Rubenstock. He got a castle and gods. This is a deja vu. I tried to throw a little, but yeah, man, look at those. But seriously, and now the Huskers will help a lot here because, yeah, even if they have the advantage, they are cleaning a lot of in this area. Look at Velez's score. It's the lowest now in the game. Only 1 TC up. They are going all in, and I don't know, Viper, what can happen here?
Velez with lowest score in the game. He has 20 more villagers than MBL. So.
Okay, we love you, MBL, but...
Yeah, but but this is the whole point. They have to transition outwards, right? And look at the rating now coming on top. There's nowhere to hide. If they find Hera's gold there as well, it's just full disaster. The Huskals are running around, the Knights are there, and the thing is, Leary has a scary army. Yes, it's Japanese pikemen, but they're so slow in the center, having to stick to the Rams. And they're taking 1 Townsend out of the time with barely killing Wills. Look at Hero's Gold now, it's a disaster. It's just... I don't know.
Thank you for helping me to cast this because I don't know where to look. This is incredible. Look at the wood. Oh, look at the wood for MBL. How he tried to wall with the stone wall, but even like that, he lost all the villages there. Yeah. Now, MBL 33 villages. They're taking 1 TC, but the Max got... Now that he lost that TC, 4 town centers still, same TCs that I am. And the Huskers are there, Castle here, and he's on the way to Imperial. I believe that when he reaches Imperial Age, but the score is still really close. That's why they will don't resign, in my opinion.
I think they will when he gets in, if not before. I hope he goes Elephants, but probably not. But the thing is, Lyra is pushing with Rams, helps, but Rubenstock has Huskals there. There's no other support unit, so the Huskals will clean up everything there. I'm not sure why he's not even fighting, he's just fighting now.
Okay.
And at the same time, yeah, it's weird actually. Maybe this one taking a risk, waiting for the cavalry. Yeah, and there's the push of Lyric completely crushed. And again, I hate to be that guy, but I'm ready for game 5.
Wow, but there's a moment. I mean, we are casted Viper, and we have to give opinions. We are not going to overhype anyone, and this is pretty obvious that with this score, the Max is getting 150 population. That probably Viles could stop playing now, and the Max and Rubenstock could kill the game completely. Even if Viles stop playing now. Yeah.
Viles can win. Like, Max has again. He has just slightly less vills than all of AM combined, and that's not a good situation.
Yeah,
as you can see.
GG, man. GG, man. You were right. I mean, Memstradamus was Viperdamus, you know, and this time... Well, but the cities, Mr. Viper, getting a 2-2 best of 3 from now on. It's,
indeed.
Yeah, and the next one, the match point, 2-2. And honestly, they are playing their whole maps really, really, really excellent because they got a strategy really here. And even if they have really, really skills 1v1, but it's so difficult in this one. I mean, what they could do here better. I mean, what was the mistake from AM? Like, how to counter this situation, Viper?
Well, the mistake here is not thinking about the strategy that Suomi thought of. And that's the one and only mistake they made. Of course, you can always make the argument, well, they could have done this better, that better, etc. But they obviously were not prepared for the strategy by Suomi, and Suomi just completed and executed their strategy really well, and it played out exactly as they probably wanted it to.
Yeah, because if you think in the civilizations, Bears is a solid choice as a pocket to counter, then Kels and Japanese always have been, well, I mean, here pocket and flank is pretty useless because they are all together, right? But Japanese and Kels are very solid too. But Lithuanians, Viles did the Bara, you say correct, in minute 0.
Yeah.
How to counter that? It's so difficult, man. And then we check here, the achievements and everything. 27 largest army, look at the unit killed, 128. After this game, Viper, I need 15-minute break. Seriously, because I didn't know where to look, honestly. 38 largest army, pretty crazy. And the cities are, let me put the score because I didn't change. 2-2, but well, the achievements we can see here. All the villages, 100. It looks ridiculous. 135 villages. Well, MBL did 37. I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Anyway, game number 5. That is going to be. Oh, we didn't see in the previous series. Desert Slope.
Isn't this a whole?
And Suomi versus AM, game number 5. This is crucial game because then the winner get match point. And Desert Slope is a beautiful map. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go, Mr. Viper. And in this one, we're gonna check and analyze really quick the civilizations. Well, Bulgarian Rubenstock has a... Oh, Rubenstock again in this one. And Pocket, that surprised me a little bit. Or not, Mr. Viper?
I think it's more to do with how they want to approach it in terms of the flanks. And they have Aztecs and Italians as the flanks. And I think they want Viles to play Italians on the flank there, and they want Aztecs for the Max, right? And obviously they could have put Max on Bulgarians, for example, but I think considering how they want to approach this, I think it makes sense for them probably to put Rubenstock on Pocket. Or at least that would be my guess. I obviously don't know. I'm just like theorizing myself here.
Yeah, but I'm not talking only about that. I was talking like, is Rubenstock a better Pocket than Supi, for example?
It depends. I think for this map, this is more... It's not really Black Forest-like, but it's at the same time, it's likely that the flanks... that it will become a fight where it's choke pointy on the sides, and obviously there will be potential action in the middle as well. And that kind of reminds a little bit on Black Forest, at least on the sides. And Rubenstock likes that map, so...
Yeah, well, Rubenstock has been always also a really good... I don't think that it's really related, but Deathmatch player in late game, maybe with this kind of choke point can be a little bit faster. I don't know.
Could be, yeah. Maybe as well they have... I mean, they probably have a plan prepared for this map, and they're like, okay, this map, Rubenstock plays, that map, Super plays, right? And I don't think they change that unless there's one of them having a significant, like, really bad day, for example.
Okay. Well, I forgot to play the video, and the video from Desert Slope is amazing. You will know, but the weekend is play the map. Basically, there's not a lot of food in the main land that you see in top of that hill. So they have to take some hand, and it's dangerous if we are taking it without the loom from the middle. There's a lot, tons of elephants and everything, but you can see that the distance is really, really far. Then the wood, you have to go through and go outside where you can find the stone, because in the middle Viper there's no stone at all. So you really need to go outside for the later game, and in the main base it's not super difficult to wall and make kind of like hideout map, right?
Exactly. One thing to point out though is you pointed out Rubenstock as pocket on Suomi, but look at AM. They're using MBL as pocket, which is not something we see very often either.
Oh, that's true. And Burmese.
Yeah, something interesting as well. I'm looking at the right side, Hera. The way he plays his lumber camp with one gap between, I can't imagine that not being on purpose. I imagine that is so he can maybe chop out faster. I'm not 100% sure though, but it's interesting anyway. Oh, Viles could potentially lame Hera's villager here as well, as Hera is luring a boar there. But laming is really difficult these days, so probably not.
Okay. Well, I like that you bring that that point here. I mean, it has been the lame that important during the tournament. Is that easy to lame anymore? I think now the lame is yeah. I mean, I think it's okay now. I don't know what you think.
It's still easy to lame, but you can somewhat deal with it a little bit better. But obviously, this was a lane where you tried to block the villager. That doesn't work too often anymore, I feel like. But still, stealing a boar is not as difficult. It's still as easy as it used to be. And if there's no scout there to interfere, it's still super easy.
Okay.
Something to point out as well is the focus Viles has on his wood choppers right now. He's already passed one tree and is heavily focusing on the second tree. So you can see the same with the max on the left side. There's definitely some real focus on trying to get out ASAP, and that can prove to be quite important.
And try to deny it then, and try to go behind the AM boys there. I'm surprised in this kind of map. I don't know, I mean, not playing Nikov in this one. Usually as a pocket here, he's also... I mean, MBL can do it excellent, but like you said, I don't remember MBL being pocket in a game with, well, that important 5 game from the semifinals. So, well, let's see how it's gonna be for them.
It's probably the same where they have a plan for this map, and again, the level of players here is so high that even anyone can play any position really. So it always depends on what you're comfortable with as a player and what your team kind of wants to accomplish, right? If there's a very micro-intensive flank position in the map, most likely we don't use that there. I mean, no offense. But if there's a macro-intensive game as a flank, we would be completely comfortable using that there again, right? Just as an example.
Well, here as Turks, we didn't mention a lot against Italians. Italians will probably go crossbows. Turks here can go crossbows as well, but maybe, well, you cannot for a castle, so it has to be that because you don't have a stone.
Turks could play cav archers here potentially, maybe even crossbow, maybe monk siege as well. There's a lot of options, right? But
yeah,
it's really hard to. This map, I think, is the least figured out map still in terms of how to play it correctly. We've seen a few times where Saracens are involved that they put a lot of pressure through the middle, but from what I'm seeing right now, it feels like everyone is more focused towards the outside, and that means everyone. I don't see anyone putting any emphasis towards the center yet. Everyone is also walling except Lyri and Hera. Typical, very confident play from them. And yeah, I'm curious to see how they decide to actually approach this game.
Yeah, we have seen like many games in this map, and sometimes the people are going heavily on the middle and even going to scout, taking Mongols here and taking all this crazy hand, and with few scouts you also reach castle, control the middle, and from there going. But now it seems that everyone is staying at home. Well, they don't have Mongols here, so maybe going for the hand and a mill is not worth it.
Could be. There's also Franks as an option. There's so many barriers in the middle. Franks could be really good. It's the risk though versus reward, right? If you go to the middle, make a mill, take all the deer, and your allies are going fast castle, and then the opponents are going scouts and archers, suddenly you're losing 5-6 vills in the middle, and the pressure is on, right? It always depends on how, like, the approach of the team in general. Max is down to the last tree on the left side.
I was there. I was just there right now.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Lyri here on the left side. He still has 2 trees to go, like 1.5 tree rather. So there's a big chance that Max might get out and he might be able to make sure Lyri can't leave the base.
Okay, and let's see how important that can be. How important is that? Because if the other teammates go outside, maybe you can move, but of course you are going to be really delayed.
Yeah, it depends, right? In the game with us against Jin Young in the group stage, I don't know if you remember that game. That was a great game. It wasn't that important for us to be outside because we kind of died from the inside, right? I see Hera went fast feudal age, barracks, blacksmith. That's an interesting strategy. I don't really have anything else to say to that.
It's Castle Age, I think. It's
I agree.
Castle Age, I think. Yeah.
So Market Blacksmith from Rubenstocker's pocket, Market Blacksmith from Max as the flank, and range from all flanks, it seems like. Oh, Hera's actually going stable. Maybe he wants to make some light cap, like make scouts and they will turn into light cap, hitting Castle Age.
Oh, I'm feeling here what MBL can do now, maybe. With Burmese, cheaper monks, maybe go forward with Hera and going all in.
Could be.
MBL love to go aggressive, and usually he's really strong with the Mangonels.
But you'd imagine that he would already have some presence heading towards the middle already then, right? I have to point out though, Max is out, 2 villagers accompanied by the Eagle is running down, and Leary still has 90 wood to go on his tree. I don't think Leary will be able to escape in time.
No, he won't. With one villager, no. If he got there 2-3, maybe. But with one villager, I don't think so. He's gonna be in time. And now double palisade from the Max at home. Okay.
Yeah, look at the right side as well. Viles is now out. Immediately, one villager running, the scout accompanying it, and Hera just broke through to his last tree. And he's not even taking that tree.
Wow.
And look at Hera, he's adding scouts, so it will be light cap as suggested. My theory is that those light cap were supposed to go on the outside, actually.
For sure. But he won't.
Yeah, there's even archers coming from Viles. So he's even going to deny the whole wood line. This is actually really, it looks really sick for Suomi already.
He definitely looks, and look at the micro. I mean, Leary's not microing those lumberjacks. Look at this. He's now putting one, the other one, is he controlling? No, you see? The 2 villages, he could chop those trees, but he's not gonna be, oh my goodness. There you go, the Max is gonna wall it. I'm going to the Max point of view, guys. You can see fog of war, a stone wall, and a stone wall. Beautiful. Just in time.
Leary is trying to pile on pressure towards the Max base in the center, but Max doing a town center siege workshop, he has double palisade walls, there's no way they're gonna break in time to do anything to him. And look at this is actually a race against the clock now. It's 60 wood left. Hera is not gonna get out, and he has 4 light cap. He has invested into 3 extra light cap, and he's not gonna be able to get out.
And now the Kronos are there.
Yeah, this is a full disaster for AM right now. Their plan was to get out there with those light cap, and that's completely crushed. He has to use the scouts in the middle now, and look in the middle. There's nothing. You can't do anything with those.
Zebras, man. There's zebras, man. I mean, you say nothing. Come on, Viper. Be accurate, please. Zebras, man. There's zebras. But Mr. Viper, it's true that if they could go out, the light cat will do a massive damage because they are strong and they could take all. But now they have lost everything, and he's going, I think, to go siege into the pocket, because look at the Max sending 2 villages. He need to micro because the Lions are searching for the blood. Okay, he did it, and MBL is booming.
The thing here is like just the investment from Hera here. Like, look, he cannot take wood anywhere. He has to go. Like, where can he take wood now? He has to go between him and MBL probably, and Viles also stonewalling with a gate on the bottom. Hera's forced to a tower. This is gonna slow down his eco so well. He doesn't have a choice. This is the right move. Yeah. It's terrible, but it's the right move by Hera. So good, to give credit where credit is due. Good recollection by him there that he understands that he needs to do a tower there. The thing here as well is MBL is not out either. He went for the 3 TZ boom, but he has no weight. He's doing 2 monasteries in his base.
For what?
Well, to defend against the siege push that might come maybe later.
Yeah. Well,
this just feels like a strategy, really good strategy by Suomi and AM. The thing as well is the strategy Hera went for. There's huge potential in that, right? But he needs to focus on the woodland, and he has to take trees immediately.
Viper, we missed something. I told you to MBL going forward, and now he's going forward on the left with siege works up, another monastery, so now it's 3 monasteries. Remember that Burmese get 50% cheaper all the tax, so they can actually do some damage there. And what the Mask has to defend, 1 Mangonel.
But the thing is, they're pushing into an Aztec player.
Yeah.
Aztec player is the ultimate civ to defend something like this. And Rubenstock is stonewalling to the center as well. He's Bulgarians, he's out already with 4 TCs, he's taking stone. Very likely we'll see a crepe post defense if they move to him after not being able to do anything on Max. And Max is now taking the woodline of Leary. Leary has to move the woodline. Now again, I have to point out, this is not the end of the world. There is gold in the middle, there's a lot of resources in the middle. But the main issue is always converting the siege workshop.
Exactly, and that's changed everything. That now changed everything because he got nothing there to defend. He's going to convert. He should delete it? No, he shouldn't delete. He deleted in the last second. 1 2-tone sentence, avoiding the raiding, and look at the migration!
Yeah.
Migration map now, Mr. Viper. Moving all the villages.
I really like this move though, because there's a big chance Max might lose everything here as the game goes on. So he's just escaping already to ensure that he has consistent income no matter what. He's doing a town on the woodland there, and that's going to be consistent. So worst case scenario now is he loses 30 vills, which is terrible obviously, but the compensation is still there. And that is that they have complete control of the side right now.
Well, and honestly, Hera economy right now, thanks to what they did, Hera is in 41 villages, the lowest in the game.
Yeah, I mean he's stuck on 1 TC, right? He's adding a second TC now, so you bought 100 wood stone to make another town center. But again, when you're getting stuck on the inside, you kind of need to see some damage in return. And the damage is what they're doing to Max now. There is damage there, yes, but at the same time, is it enough? He's now sending another couple of vills. So worst case scenario for Max now is that of course he's going to lose farm, town centers, but he's going to lose what, 5-6 vills maybe at most even here.
For now, he didn't lose anything. He moved everything, and they didn't kill yet a single villager.
Yeah.
I hope that the Max is going to wall that gap, because if not, those are going to run in. Okay.
Yeah, he will for sure. He's also moving to stone now, to gold on the outside. This is still looking really good. Like again, the thing here is there are 3 players now. There, Leary has crossbows, MBL has monk siege, and Hera obviously had those light cap. Those light cap weren't supposed to be there, but they are there, right? But Rubenstock, 5 TC booming in the middle, untouched the whole game. Look at his villager count.
76 villages from Bulgarians. Conic?
I would assume so. MBL lost 4 villagers on his woodline now, so now there's mangonels and crossbows there, so MBL will have to react to that as well. And it's just like, even though it doesn't do too much damage, it's such a nuisance to deal with, right? Because you have to make monks, you have to do redemption, you have to do all these things to actually deal with that. Actually, even Viles is doing redemption, and he's gonna try to still put pressure on Hera, just as Hera has broken free. Oh, Hera, he destroyed the stone, but he still has to chop the tree.
But it's gonna be able, because now Viles is there with monks. He got the siege war stop. He has no goal, by the way. He has no goal, but still, he did a gate behind that TC. He's gonna cut, and now he will have archers, monks. He needs something else, because if Hero is just going mangle and light caps, he could clean probably easily that army from Viles. I don't know what you think.
Yeah. Well, Viles does have crossbow, right? So I think Viles is gonna feel comfortable still. The light cap don't have great upgrades. They have armor and bloodlines, I think.
I love the Viper, because look at Rubenstock defend.
Yeah.
2,000 houses, walls, Krepos already there.
Yeah, there's nothing there for them to do, right?
Well, he's converting the houses.
Yeah,
has to be careful.
Now he builds a crepe post there, or stone walls. Actually, I don't see why he's not just buying another crepe post. He has so much gold. Yeah. He could just buy a crepe post and build another one there. MBL keeps building monasteries all over. They're investing so much into this, and they actually have the score lead, surprisingly, but that's because Max had to do the huge migration, right? But if you look at the village count, Max is still on par with Hera.
Yeah, and Max has still 3 town centers, similar to Hera, like you said. He will start to keep, he's booming, and still keep booming. Fortified walls, they're still taking a lot of map control, if you ask me. He got an outpost here. The Max, I don't know if he's going to do something, because look at all the wood there. A tower there for the Max. I know you're doing the fletching. And Rubenstock on the way to Imperial. So Rubenstock not only infect their opponents, he's also infecting his own team, because now Viles and the Max Viper are doing the Rubenstock role, and then Rubenstock booming.
Exactly. And if you see it, the right side now, Hera, yes, he's out, but that's not peaceful at all.
Oh, he converted the mangonel! Yeah, man! And now the TC bye-bye coming with the crossbows. This all 2 villains down. What is this? Oh well. The score is still ahead for AM, but in my opinion, this is tricky. Even if Leary, it's on the way to Imperial with Korea, 88 villains, Rubenstock, 120 villains, and they are flaring. They are starting to prepare the trade, Viper. They are preparing the trade, of course. Yeah. What the hell?
So Conic is not going to be the choice for Rubenstock here. He's going to go Cavalier with Stirrups. And Stirrups is actually an insanely good upgrade. It makes the Cavalier so powerful. And considering this,
no. You forget something. Old patch, Paladins.
Oh, true.
Even better.
It's the old patch.
Even better, man. Even better. Sorry that I point out, but it's the problem to me with the old patch. I was thinking for a second, when you say Conic and Cavalier, I say, oops. No. But it's Paladins, man. Also with the upgrade.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Right? Oof.
Look how many light Cavalier has to make it to try and deal with this. And even that doesn't feel... he has +2 now, so there's a big chance he cleans this up. But he decides to go back for some reason. Wait, that's super weird to me.
Oh my god, Viper is... I mean, here he's losing a lot there. With the 2 mangonel, with the crossbows. He's really losing a lot. And now Leary is on the way to Imperial Viper. What he can do here with Korea? Arbalest?
Well, that's what it looks like, right? Because he doesn't have access to outside, which means he doesn't have access to stone. He is sort of breaking out now on the bottom right of his base, but I'm sure Max will be aware of that and probably notice it at some point. But yeah, like I just feel like they had to do damage and they didn't do damage. And now Rubenstock is in a position to totally dominate.
Okay. I want to ask you something because some people point out, and I forgot because I'm also confused with the patch and so on. Is better Paladins without the upgrade or Cavaliers with the upgrade? Because people say that it doesn't affect to the Paladins.
Well, the Paladin should still be better with armor and HP, etc., right? But it's an extra investment, so in theory, Cavalier can be better in certain parts of the game, but obviously, as the game goes on, Paladins will be better.
All right. Okay, you got your answer, guys. You got your answers. Viper said, and we believe. We believe in you, Mr. Viper. Look at those stone walls. He wall a guy, man. He wall a guy. This is so annoying, man. When you are in a game like this, what do you think? Like, it's like might be communication. A guy in this happening. So annoying. A lot of breathing, right?
Yeah. Look at the bottom right as well. Bottom left, Leary. He's about to break out, but Max already doing a tower. Gonna be more annoying there, and Leary does have Arbalest now. They're gonna break the stone wall, but the thing is the damage is already done, right? Even if they break out now, they're still gonna be super happy with the situation. Because Rubenstock will have Paladin now, Cavalier running through the middle. He's already killed off some Cavalier and is gonna take complete control in the middle. And he can also support on the right side. He's sending villagers on the right side, he's probably gonna do stables forward. Villa's doing a castle at the same time as well. They still have, like, the stone wall is still buying so much time for them.
Wow.
Just really hard. Yeah. The positional advantage for Suomi right now is absolutely insane.
It's crazy, man. I mean, it looks like a plan, you know, but we all know, Viper, that usually the plans can fail, but it seems at this point that it's working. It's working, but we check the score and we check that Hira 90 villages on the way to Imperial with the Turks also in the middle and going there, but raiding over Lear is now being insane. TC going to be down, I don't know, but he's losing a lot of villages, tons of villages, and Paladin upgrade, man. The Paladins now with the +2, +4, missing the blast furnace. Are they even trading?
They have
Max
started trading
already
now,
traded.
So, yeah.
Oh my god.
That's the thing, like, even though AM might climb their way back and crawl their way back and take some position again outside. Look at Maxi Walled again on Leary's side. There's a castle there now though. Leary actually bought a castle. He had to buy a castle. And that says everything here. Wow. But the thing is, even if they crawl back, they have no way to start trade at the moment, and their trade is going to be so much slower that it's like... Even towers on MBL now as well. These guys are so annoying. I just get annoyed by watching it, man.
That's so annoying. He's war towers. And Viper, Rubenstock 5-ton centers, 140 villages, 40 military, with around the rate to kill that insane. 5-ton center the max, and he's... Look at the max in the minimap. He is all over the map except in his main base.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and 46 less as well. Wow. Craziest too, man. Crazy and incredible coordination. The game is still going, but I don't know if now Hira can do something. Those paladins, in my opinion, well, he got some halberdiers. The half from Burmese very strong. Forgot +7 can be +7 attack, +4, but there is many paladins. Arbalest. He should go back with those paladins, maybe. Yeah.
But we have to think about transitions now for these allies as well, right? Max should click up to Imp anytime soon, and he can go for Arbalest, he can go for... Like, if he goes for Eagles, he counters the Arbalest and the Halberdiers in one go. And on the right side, Hera can only go full Hussar at the moment, because of the lack of gold, right? But Velez is Italians. He can do the Pavis upgrade, get extra armor for his Arbalest, and he can go for Genovese crossbowman. So the counters are there for Suomi already, if they want to.
Those Hussars are gonna clean the Arbalest. It looks like this. He need that castle up. He should have wall a little. He's doing a good job. Of course, the Arbalest are getting a good trade. But Hussars is only food. Viper is the only good thing here. But like you say, the castle is up, and now what he can do is still completely cornering that area, and they cannot trade. So if the game, even if they are countering and doing some good job, where they trade now?
Exactly. That's the whole problem here for them. That, like I said, even if they take some position, which they kind of are right now, they don't have corners to trade. Now the stables are going to go up on the right side, so Rubenstock is supporting with Paladin there. Rubenstock also has Paladin on the left side, so it's just looking like... I mean, they have to... Max actually made a town stand on the bottom, so he's like still has villages here. And he's making another one. Like, even he's going monsters. I'm not sure why he's not going to Imperial Age instead of continuing this investment, but... Okay, it is what it is, but it's going to take so long for them to even clean up Max from the bottom corner that... Just, again, hard to see how they crawl their way back here.
Oh, look at the Arbalest! Look at where Leary is. Sneak the Arbalest in the berries, man. Okay. Don't you think that Rubenstock should now go directly to Velez and destroy Hira?
I think he should just like, the mobility is definitely on his side, right? Koreans, they're Arbalest there from Leary, and there's Halberdiers from MBL. They cannot chase the Paladin. The Paladin can just run around and raid whatever they want to, right? And they already have the map control, they have the trade up and running. Actually, Rubenstock doesn't have that much trade, but if they get trade up and running, he can produce Paladins forever, right? So honestly, even sacrificing those Paladins just to raid economy might be the best way for their use right now.
Okay, well, they have already Viper 25 trade cut in the team combined. Well, no trade at all for AM, so 25 trade cut now in few minutes is gonna be like 50 or more. Population 200 Rubenstock, 160 Velez, 140, but then with all this, AM is still there. He is still there, at least in terms of population, but this is not about population, we say it several times, it's about map control, and they are still unable to trade, and Hussars obviously won't stop. Now, Genovese crossbowman, well, he's not doing yet, but they still,
The main issue I see for AM right now is that, yes, they are crawling their way back with the current circumstances, but if you look at the bottom corner, Max is adding barracks, he started the Eagle production, he has monks with insane HP coming out, and what does AM have right now to counter Eagles? Only thing I could see is that MBL would switch into champions, which makes a lot of sense with Burmese, but it's another slow unit that takes forever to move around the map, and then suddenly Rubenstock makes Paladin again, and it's just like I said, I think the counters are there for AM, for Suomi, no matter what AM goes for them.
Leary is doing the on-air upgrade. I don't know if they are gonna try to cut and raid somewhere, but they don't have units to raid. Like, they can go to get some map and get outside of his face, but I don't know where they can go. They still, close to 200 population. They're trading all over. They're trying to get all the corners. But like you said, what is this elite Genovese crossbowman? How many castles got?
I see 3 so far.
Okay. Yeah, 3 castles. I clicked there. 3 castles as well. And I was in Leary point of view. For that I couldn't check. I was like, what? And then, 3 castles.
Suomi are trading in 3 corners. They're trading from the right and the left.
Yeah.
That's just showing you everything here. Oh, he's going for Aztec's condos. That's really cute.
Seriously?
Condos from the bottom. That's really cute.
Oh, you have to try that one, Mr. Viper. Okay. It's gonna be condo tiers with Garland Wars? Well, can be.
Don't see a cast list from... Oh yeah, there's a cast. He's doing Garland Wars as we speak, actually. So yeah, it's gonna be... Not the unit you see very often these days, condos.
Well, I don't remember I have seen, to be honest.
Yeah.
They have to look at the trade cut Viper going into MBL base because they don't know where to go the trades, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
So the issue here as well, the composition-wise, Hera is still stuck on only Hussar, right? He does have bomb cannons as well, right? But now there's There's 15 Paladin left on the right side for Hera, and how does Hera counter this? Hera has nothing that can deal with this. He might switch into heavy camels, actually. That would be a logical transition for him, but the issue here remains still... Wait. Les has a market in the bottom corner as well, and his trade is running there because that's the longest distance. Oh, that's such a mistake.
That's a terrible one. For that reason, the trade is going there, and they are losing the trade, actually. Yeah, man.
Well, only the less, right? But yeah, still.
Well, he's 20 trade card, man. Losing them.
Yeah. Oh, that's something that they have to identify. I'm sure he will notice quite fast when he sees the trade run into the middle. But yeah. Actually, sending the Hussar down for Hera here was a good decision. He's going to clean up the monks, and he has numbers to deal very well with the Eagles, but... And wait, Lyria is pushing on the left side with Towers and Arbalest. Maybe he'll add some hand cannoneers. It's slowly starting to look okay for AM, but the main issue comes back to the lack of trade in this very moment.
Yeah, and the problem, Viper, when you are that behind, you try to push back one side, and then in the other side, look at now Rubenstock on Hera's base, getting together with crazy amount of army from Velez. Yes, the Paladin is now Generous Crossbowman and Trebuchet. How now Hera can push this from his base, and that's why his population is going now dramatically down.
Yeah, and at the bottom at the same time, Max is doing a castle. Lyra is trying to push on the left side, but Max has Eagles. There's no way the Arbalest can push there. And at the same time, like you said, Hera's population is dropping dramatically. It's down to 120 pop villagers. It's under 100 now. Rubenstock is also raiding the woodline of MBL, and it's also in MBL's base with Paladin. So the raiding from Rubenstock now is doing so much damage.
Look at the ratio killed dead by Rubenstock in this game. It's just destroying everything. He has killed more units than all AM combined. I mean, his statistics is... Yeah, what happened
Max
with the
pocket
Max?
who? Max pocket who? Rubenstock is the pocket.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Man, they know what they're doing, man. But you would think that Rubenstock can do this job annoying, but man, the Max did incredibly. And look at now in the north, how... Well, in the north, where's the north here? On the Max and Lyri's side, right? Look at the towers. The towers are actually saving. He's doing transition to champions with Korea.
Yeah, that's kind of like an awkward thing as well. You would like to have your Burmese player maybe playing the champions there, because you don't get the last attack upgrade with Koreans. So the thing here now is Max can just make his own Jaguars or make his own champions, and he has way better champions than Koreans.
Exactly. Check MBL economy and tell me if you think Viper that he can transition to anything. Exactly, man. Zero wood. Well, it's a balanced economy at least, Viper. Zero wood, everything. Zero food, and zero every. You watch my channel more than I thought, Viper. That's I feel so proud, amigo.
I know the memes, man. I know the memes.
I see, man. I see only the memes. Okay, I will meme all the time then.
Yes.
But yes. But in man, AM is only in the middle. But in the middle, there is food that you don't need anymore. You need trade.
There's gold as well, but the main issue is going to be potentially wood as well as the game goes on. But look in the middle, Rubenstock now... Like, Rubenstock just keeps switching where to fight, right? Now he has all his Paladin in the middle, and he's chubbing the castle there. There are a lot of towers from Lyria, so that's super annoying with the Koreans' arrow slits towers, but... Now there's nothing in the middle to stop this, and whenever they feel like, okay, we're gaining ground there, right? Suddenly there's a huge army in another spot in the map, and they just cannot deal with it.
And Viper, Rubenstock 32 trade card, Velez 38, the Max 37, and AM Lyria MBL Hera 0! Zero trade card, man! I mean, zero trade card in this game is impossible. They are trying, they are fighting like beasts, but now the population from Hera, like you said a couple of minutes ago, and now in this game I listened to you. 98 population below 100. How they can come back from this? Come on, hide the viewers, man. How? Lie to the viewers. No, oh, shit! The timing wasn't good for this question. It wasn't a good timing for this question, Viper. I'm sorry, I need to ask you before, man. Do you see, Viper, how I'm terrible promotion or sellout? 3-2 for Suomi, man. What? This was a spectacular game by the Finnish team, honestly.
They still didn't manage to clean Max up from the bottom corner as well. So yeah, I mean, if you would look this game without looking at their names, you would think yellow was Max and red was Rubenstock, right? They can all execute the same roles. It's all about how they prefer to play with saves and strategies, etc. Wow. But yeah, this was just a strategic... I almost want to say masterclass by Suomi here. Obviously, it's a little bit unfortunate. Hera went for the light cap play on the outside, right? But he never got to the outside, so that alone is a huge setback. Because his whole strategy and approach was based on that.
Viper,
and yeah.
the difference there was we noticed, and you noticed, you point out from the start, the Max and the Les both were with two Vellies in the wood, trying to go to the specific lumberjack with the trees, with the lumberjacks to the trees, sorry, and AM didn't do that. There was a micro in those. They went to go out, but they were with one Vellier, and that was double the time.
Yeah. Exactly. That's kind of what led into this whole snowball. And AM did the right thing. They tried to put on the pressure to the center because of this. But obviously they did clean up Max, but Max was able to escape with all his veils. And when they went to Rubenstock, it was already too late because Rubenstock had the defense set up. It was textbook play from Suomi here.
Well, and actually, now... Yeah, go.
Yeah, this is the first time we're going to see the supplemental draft, right?
Yeah, exactly. So now we need to go for the supplemental draft, and I want to tell you something. Now is the dangerous question. We are in a 3-2. What team do you prefer for the grand final, Mr. Viper?
What team I prefer?
Yeah, you. Personally, you. Not even your team. You.
I'm usually a guy that don't really mind. Like, I would like the team that is the best, and. Okay. That's going to be the team that wins, right?
What?
I don't think...
Political answer. No, but
no,
political?
But it's true. It's like...
Yeah.
I don't want AM to lose and then we meet them in the final, right? I want the winner to meet... I want to meet the winner in the final. Okay. That's just the simple... And that's how it should be, right?
Yeah, and you have to focus also in your gameplay. So the team that is there, we will try our best strategies and focus to win them. And according to the opposite team, we will go for it. Okay, Mr. Viper, going for game number 6. The series are now that if Suomi win the game, the next game, they are in the grand final versus Secret. And if AM winning, who decided will be? Let's see.
I'll take a quick minute.
We're checking the achievements, and military 450 unit kills. 450 unit kills, 77 largest army. Hira 49, he couldn't do more. He got completely locked down there, the Max. Look at the economy, man! Trade here, crazy trade. Hira, Leo, MBL, 0 trade. Well, what we were talking, guys, and now game number 6. There you go, guys, game number 6. This is, well, super important one, as you can imagine, and with Viper continuing here. It's the Viper 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, let's go. And now all the questions are going to be an answer. And Chinese, Vietnam, Franks, Berbers, Ethiopians, and Teutons. In theory, better shifts for AM. But now the strategy and execution can compensate that.
I like AM civs way better here, honestly. I'm also confused about the Berbers pick here. I mean, it's a good civ here by all means. The knights are cheap and everything. But it's confusing for me regarding the next potential map, if we get there, right? Obviously, if they win this map, it doesn't matter. But
yeah,
it's strange to me. But of course, Berbers is still a powerful pocket here. But yeah, I definitely do prefer AM civilizations here.
Okay, well, like you can see, remember that this map got only the farmers and the berries as a food income. You can take those goats in the outside, where the goats are located. There's nothing that you can build. Then we have 2 corners with the goal all visible, like you can see, and these crazy corners with a lot of food that usually people will use in castle. It's not now. Maybe they can take some elephant with a scout. That usually doesn't happen. And the aggression here. Castle Age, I saw you in the previous series that you were some archers, or what? I mean, trying to wall everything and Castle Age aggression?
I mean, there's a lot of options here. You can play Feudalish, you can play Castle Age, you can do Monk Siege. Pretty much every strategy is viable on this map. It's all about, again, the team choice, what you guys want to go for, trying to work together. Already I noticed there's one big hill in the center of the map, like between them, sort of. And that could be a really good hill to push from for AM, for example. But at the same time, there's a hill between MBL and Hera as well, where if Suomi gets control of that, that could also be really tough to take back. Again, MBL is playing the pocket civ, Leary and Hera as the flanks, which sort of makes sense considering their playstyles, because you would like to have Hera and Leary on the archer civs, I would say, on this map.
Yeah. This is the game number 6. Nikov has played one game only, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on the right side we have Chinese Leary and facing Viles Ethiopians. Well, the Chinese Ethiopians are really strong. We know how strong Chinese is. And also with the farm bonus for, yeah, in terms of economy. Oh, look at the walls. I mean, they are super close. Look at the walls Viles is doing. He's basically on Leary's base.
Yeah, I think, actually, I'm looking at the map spawn now. If you look between Rubenstock and Viles is sort of isolated from his team because of the forest, and that's something that can actually be really rough for them. Like, if they go all 3 pushing on Viles, it's gonna be really hard for Rubenstock and Max to support him, right? Because of that forest. I'm also looking at his secondary goal there for Viles. It's like outside of the forest. It's
terrible.
Quite awkward for him. Of course, some other players have exposed goals as well, but not like outside the forest, so it's a little bit awkward. I want to be curious to see how they deal with that potential problem.
And remember, guys, that here in this map, 0 stone. If you want to make something, like a castle or whatever, or extra TCs, or after 1 tower, you will need to buy. Market gonna be here. There's a lot of flaring here. They are going to wall probably. Maybe they're gonna make team wall between yellow and red, like you said. Oh, but Viles is taking him up. Look at the walls he's doing.
I like this, especially considering the map there. Also that hill where Max's villager is right now with the Hero Scout. Luckily he has Loom already, so good on him for that. Yeah. That hill, the fact that they're walling in front of it is really important. I honestly would have liked to see him wall even more forward, but of course he doesn't have vision further than this. Just to like secure that hill for sure for Suomi, because that hill honestly might be the game deciding hill here.
Well, since there's no stone and we can see Franks and Berbers, Rubenstock here is a pocket, maybe 1 TC completely, 1 TC push and full knights. Berbers cheaper knights can be also really solid, even if Franks is great.
Yeah, it's an option for sure, right? But like Franks, obviously, it's always great. Playing Franks' pocket is always a great feeling, no matter what. So I don't think if you give any player the choice, everyone will pick Franks here. But of course, it doesn't mean Berbers are that much worse. They have the cheaper knights, they have fast moving vills, which help for farming here, and he's also sent villagers to the top corner to hunt deer, which Berbers should be one of the more efficient ones with that because of the faster moving speed. I don't. This game is not necessarily going to be decided by the pocket sealed, I feel like, no matter what.
Okay. And camels is a choice because camels are cheaper too, but usually people is not doing camels. Against archers, they are weaker, so...
Yeah, most of the times you don't want camels in these circumstances because there will be so many ranged units on the map, right? Once there's 20, 30 crossbows, the camels die so much faster compared to knights.
Wow, look at the walls they are doing. No shame on those. They know that they need to secure the map control, and you can see the Max already double palisade. Maybe when you see this, then maybe you are expecting on purple side a little bit more wall, because right now it's pretty easy to get through. Very easy. So.
Yeah, I'm very confused about the walls like Hera and MBL here. Hera sort of walled his own front, and then MBL walled himself in an arena, but then Hera is completely open on the right side again with MBL. Like, MBL could have easily walled a little bit further forward and secured both of them in a team wall. So this wall, and now Hera is walling between him and MBL. This is very strange to me, but okay, I mean, I guess they all feel safer being walled themselves.
Okay. Well, and now probably they are just noticing. I'm going to go to AM point of view. Hera, they can feel that the others are walling completely, so they are just waiting for the castle age, and they feel, oh, but yeah, man, but it's, I mean, in this battle, it's like you say, now they are completely safe, the AM boys, and if they have a bad move here, look at Leo base, like he's walling basically in his TC. This is giving like the other team the option, or telling them, come to me. Because
yeah, sort of. But at the same time, I feel like this is how the AM guys are comfortable right now on this map, because they know they have to win this game, right, to have a chance to continue. And I feel like they all just on this map, which is it's very micro intensive. This is a map that I think maybe suits them fairly well with that in mind. The fact that they can just rely on themselves, sort of, at the opening. Just get your ranges up, get your blacksmith up, get your units out, and then you can start fighting together. and they probably feel more comfortable doing this considering the circumstances right now, compared to like trying to set up a team wall and trying to work together with the walls and everything.
Also, they are not spending any resources, so their transition to Castle probably should be smoother than Suomi guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
however, there is a chance here, if you look at the map, that Rubenstock, Max, and Velez can play together more, simply because they are connected with the team wall, right? So they can probably move together and like decide, okay, let's attack from here now or there, while AM will be less organized when it comes to like team attacks.
Well, they don't even have gates. If you check, if Hira want to move now to his teammates, he has to delete the walls.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The last Max and Rubenstock all have their scouts on the right side. Leary was open, but I think he completed the wall now, so he should be fine. So he didn't take any damage there.
Okay, one double archery range for everyone, basically. What for me is kind of impressive is they spend all those resources, they still manage to go castle at the same time. And Billy's also even. Well, maybe one Billy less, Billy has 27 Billies, you know, but pretty much the same. So at the end, it's definitely worthy. Or it seems so. Stone walls even for Villas.
Yeah, they want to be safe, and like I really think the stone walls Max is doing is really a really good idea, simply because of that hill. Like I said, if AM gets in there and takes control of that hill, that's gonna be so hard for Suomi. But yeah, they're playing it safe, definitely. And the thing is though, like they're walling the middle with stone, but their outsides are still. Actually, Max is now doing stone on the outside as well. That's gonna be curious.
Why is he doing a scout, Viper?
Probably just one. I assume that's one extra scout.
Okay,
yeah, that's just one. Oh yeah, two. Okay, probably just because they're expecting a monk rush, I would say, from Max maybe, and they want to have the scouts out on the map and just be able to like deal with that. That would be my assumption anyway.
Okay.
I don't know why he made so many scouts myself.
Yeah, let's see. Well, anyway, France got good economy. He probably can afford it. He still have some good echo. And he's spamming only one TC, double stable, obviously. Now they are fleeing because probably they want to attack purple from behind Villes. The score is switching all the time, but right now that's not really important. There's some Palisade Gate for Leary. Now he's doing the university, and Leary seems to be going to go really aggressive with crossbows and ballistic as soon as possible.
Yeah, and he's also going on the outside, actually, because they probably have scouted that it's not going to be easy to break through the center, so outside is where they can do some damage here, and obviously Velez can easily plug that little gap there, so I don't think it's going to take damage. But yeah, Rubenstock is adding a town center himself, 2 town centers actually, one on the top and one extra in the base. So it's not a 1 TC play here. Like while you're looking at MBL, it's full 1 TC play at the moment.
Yeah.
And the question has to be, where are they going to do the damage here?
I don't know, man. Oh, Siege and Monks. Oh, I think he's really underestimated this Abre. Don't watch. The Max did it, and just look now. He can see everything coming. He can see the archers are from the left, everything coming. If he really pay attention, of course, because that not happening on the right side, and Leo is attacking already. Viper to the wood, 1-2 is down, and, well, he made some damage there.
Indeed, and now they know the army is on the outsides, which might trigger them to start an attack through the center, right? But here's the good thing when MBL has so many units there. Alone, he can probably clean up the whole thing. There's only one monk as well and one manga now. So if he gets +2 even, which he does not have on the way, he's doing forging rather, he can probably clean this all by himself. And with the aggression Suomi is putting on right now, the fact that MBL is playing 1 TC might be the better choice.
Okay, the problem is, they don't know, like we say, that if they are going 2, 3 TCs or 1 TC as well, and MBL is being careful there. Right now, crossbows, only one monk, but now Rubenstock is sending more knights, still don't have a lot, and they are going into MBL base. And MBL is still not taking the army together, and with anyone else, like you say, they seems to be again split. You see, they are not together AM for now. Seems that Leo now and MBL will get all together, and then maybe they can clean that area. They need more monks, but imagine 2 or 3 conversions. This, it can change everything.
Yeah. And they don't have Teutons, so, well, Suomi obviously does, so if counter monks is not really an option here, this is gonna come down a lot to now the micromanagement of Leary in particular here with the crossbows. And Hera is going from behind actually. I really like what Max is doing here. He's sort of trying to wall off to like make sure there's not going to be like counterattacks from behind them. Obviously, MBL is doing a great move running over the scouts, getting the mangonel, while Hera is microing there. At the same time, Leary is taking a really nice trade so far in the middle. He's microing now, avoiding the shot, and he's taking the hill. This is suddenly Suomi's army seems kind of sandwiched.
Yeah, now they have problems here. Look at Hera. Now the crossbows, the monks are going to be bye-bye. He's converting the crossbows with the monks. I don't think that's a good idea. The knights is a better one here, in my opinion. But well, Mangonel is down. Look at those knights killing everything. And now AM boys are just killing absolutely everything because, to be honest, Suomi didn't have a lot of army there.
Indeed, and yeah, that's such a strange decision to convert the crossbows there. He also just now sent a monk straight to his death. There's a second monk going as well. Max is being really wasteful with his monks here, and you cannot afford those losses on this map. It's so important. Every single monk, every single mangonel, every single knight is so important here that those types of losses they just took, that can also be game ending.
Yeah, but there's one thing happening here. They are not doing any damage, and now I just noticed if they don't do damage, Rubenstock 62 villages, 3 town centers, is not investing a lot in military, and he still have 5 army, MBL 7. What that means, if they don't do damage right now, Rubenstock can now spam knights forever, and he's doing second stable, 3 stables now for Rubenstock. And they don't have monks to convert, so to be honest, if Rubenstock is spamming now military, it's gonna be really tough for them to stop that. I don't know what you think.
I agree. The good thing as well, they have Viles with the Ethiopian crossbow as well, right? So he has still really good numbers. If you look at the military count, Viles, Hera, and Lyria have all about the same, and they're the archer players here. And Rubenstock should, in theory, now start outmassing MBL on the knight section. One thing to point out here, though, is that MBL does have a town center on the right gold, while the left gold, there's no town centers and no signs of Suomi getting on the gold at any time soon.
Viper, I call him the kid, and the kid, Leary, is on the way to Imperial.
That's
how
power
important
of
can be that,
TC,
man?
One TC Chinese play here. The farms, if I'm not mistaken, all their farms start with more food as well.
Yeah.
Because of the team bonus.
Exactly.
And that's also snowballing here into them having to not reinvest on the wood like the farms. So, Lyri, like you said, on the way to Imp, and there is no one else on the way to Imp. Max is getting close though to click. Veles is quite far, and Hera is quite far as well. So it looks very, very interesting right now. Obviously, the pocket situation, Rubenstock has a significant lead on MBL, but Lyri is going to hit Imp, and he has the most army on the map, and those are going to be Arbalest.
31 military gonna be Arbalest, but imagine if now they attack, they need to make the damage, but they don't know what we do, and they don't know that he's on the way to Imperial Age. Also, Hera, oh my god, he's not walled. Hera is on the left, Viper with archers, with mangonels, and now knights coming from MBL. They can make a lot of damage on the max economy because he got nothing but a lot of army from Rubenstock coming here to defend. But I'm afraid more than that push from the Arbalest. How they will stop the Arbalest right now? Imperial Age already, wow.
Yeah, I really like the transition Lyri is doing here as well. At the same time as he hit Imp, he also is putting down Town Center on the gold. Because the thing he needs right now is gold to make Arbalest. Also, MBL is raiding on the top side now. Viles is the villagers, that's also very helpful. And like you said, Max is on the way to Imperial Age now, and the Town Center is not in danger, but this is still, I mean, look at Rubenstock's army now though. That's a lot of knights. Although MBL is doing really good as well, keeping up with production.
With those knights, he should kill everything. There is not a single monk. If he uses open formation, he should kill it. It's a lot of knights. Let's see if he's gonna go. He's gonna kill the mangonels. Now he's coming still with some knights, but he got monks behind, the scorpions. They're going to clean absolutely everything, Mr. Viper, and they are cleaning everything. Then on the right side, they are attacking with archers, potential Arbalest. They have the +3, no Arbalest yet because Lyri doesn't have the economy, but they are going to break through. I don't know. The problem is military numbers now. Well, 66, 61, they are still leading in numbers because Lyri got a lot of army.
And the thing is, they're pushing the archer player of Suomi right now. Like, Max will be Imp, yes, but he's the monk player. Like, the archer player is more important, and that's just a brutal fact. And Lyri has a significant lead on Viles there. Viles is on the way to Imperial Age himself, but he's already lost some production buildings, and he has no way to get to extra gold at the moment. He's gonna have to go all the way to the left, where, as you can see, Hera is now sending 8 villagers, while Rubenstock is making a town center there. Hera is sending villagers to do something himself.
Rubenstock is already there. He's already there. They still not killing anything. I mean, Rubenstock has a huge lead in economy. He's taking the hill. He's gonna kill all the knights for MBL. MBL, you don't want to take this fight, and he's trying to avoid going back. Okay, but still, is Cab Rams? Cab Rams already. He need to wall. I honestly think that what he need is not monks anymore. He needs onagers, the max.
Agreed. Hera is actually douching Rubenstock on the left side, which is quite funny, but he's not going to get away with it. There's lions, there's knights, and that's not a problem, but that's not where the focus is right now. Look at the bottom as well. Rubenstock is trying to raid MBLs in his base. Rubenstock's resources are out of this world. Yes, he's ready to click Imp.
What?
So there's...
And Cavaliers might dominate here. I don't know what you think, but... oh, but Purple, Viles is Imp too. So now the Ethiopians are just...
I
told
you he was going to Imp.
Yeah, but it's Imp, almost Imp is what I mean.
Okay,
I know. At this time I listen to you, okay?
Okay, good.
It's only Imp now. Come on, I mean, I'm not gonna be 2 times in the same stream now listening, because then the next time you come back is in 6 years, and that's not gonna happen, hopefully again. So, Mr. Viper, look at them. Look at the amount of archers. This troller boy, these people troller boys, so many archers going. But in my opinion, the Max is the one who is with 0 economy. He can't get any more damage. They need to go to other spot, because the Max, for me, is at this point not really important for their team.
The thing about the Max's situation is he was first to imp in his team, but he has lost all his production. There's like he can make some monster mangonels, yeah. Maybe Anger is what he should have gone for, yeah. But I honestly as well think that Rubenstock should have committed more heavy on Castellage. He had so many resources and he only had 3 stables. He could have added 6-7 stables and made 20 more knights instead of clicking in at 5 minutes ago, right? And that would have made such a big difference.
Yeah, and now look at the problem. Rubenstock has a 100 village, which is great. Yeah. Look at the military number from AM. Lear is 61 archers, that means double the archers than Viles. MBL in Castle, yes, 46 knights. Viper, 46 knights, and then Hera, 54 military. So basically, they have now tripled the army than Suomi.
Yeah,
crazy.
Every single player on AM has more military than every single player on Suomi, and that in itself is a huge problem. Especially now that they're really struggling to get access to gold as well. Hera is pushing on the left side with mangonels. He had crossbows. He has crossbows there as well. Hera is also on the way to Imp now, and he's trying to get he's getting some conversions, so Max should be okay here.
Oh, man, but the battle is on Rubenstock base. It's on Rubenstock base. Look at that battle. It's so many rams, it's cab rams, so many arbalists. Literally has 70 military in this map that you are that close. That's so many archers. And MBL, 60 knights, basically. That's insane.
Well, he doesn't need Imperial Age, right?
Yeah, no.
Like, Rubenstock is Imp. What does he have to show for? He has the same upgrades as MBL, even less. And he's losing his whole base. The key here is that Leary has so many arbalists, right? That MBL only thing he needs to do is to provide meat shield, and he's doing a perfect job of that.
Perfect game, man.
The GG.
Perfect game. The GG. We go to the decider. In this one, I don't know if it was the civilization. I don't think it was the civilization. It was the strategy mainly. I mean, the civilization helps to make the strategy AM did. But like you said, if Rubenstock, instead of going for Imp, go the amount of army MBL did, it would be probably completely different.
I think they did a really good job as well, applying pressure from different angles. Like, Lyrian and Hera both applied pressure from the outside as well, while Suomi were trying to push through the center. But AM dealt with that, and they also applied pressure on the sides, which sort of is annoying, right? And it made the like, Suomi had less mobility because they also had a Monk and Siege player. And that guy didn't get to do much this game. And that... So AM kind of played around the immobility of the Monk Siege player here, and it worked out perfectly for them.
Wow, they did an amazing job, and guys, well, Piper, what can I tell you? I mean, I'm happy because now we are casting together, but when I saw the previous series 4-1, I was, okay, I'm gonna say, Viper, go away, man, because I want 4-3, man. But, well, it's okay. It's okay. We have 3-3 here now. AM versus Suomi, 4-3 series, but let's take the achievements and decided game on Canyon Lake. I have the feeling that we're going to see Nikov in that map. I don't know what you think.
I think so as well. I think he's going to be Hunt's pocket. I think.
Yeah, okay. We will see, guys. We will see. We are checking out the achievements. Military, 74 largest army Leary here. The max converted 6 units. Viper in this map, 6 units. Kinda ridiculous because in this map that close, it's just, disaster. And Rubenstock did 103 villages. That is a lot in that short time. But he needed army. Rubenstock 26 army. MBL here. Give credit to MBL. 58 military. All full castle age, Viper.
Indeed. I think just AM really maneuvered that map really nicely. And I think it was quite obvious what Suomi wanted to go for here, and AM just counteracted that really nicely.
Well, they did the job, guys, and Decider, super hype, decided game. Let's go for the last one. Now, there you go, game number 7. It's Suomi versus AM. All going to be decided now, and we're getting there, yes. And here we are with the decided game 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go. Mr. Viper with me forecasting this crazy undecided game, and we have the Max as Mahar, Pocket, and like you said, Nikov, Leary, and Hira. Decided game, Nikov as a Pocket hands. Mr. Viper on point.
Well, I had the game open, so I knew, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
Titanic, man. Titanic. But,
This is where I'm surprised. I expected Berber's pocket for Suomi here and Magars to be played on beach fights. So this is where I'm a little bit surprised. But obviously Magars is a powerful civ. I just feel like Berber's probably will be better here.
Yeah, and also, since the other map is super close, you can make more damage with the scouts if you go scouts earlier, or even with the knights because you get all the upgrades automatically, and you are closer and easier to make damage than in this map.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of an odd choice, but yeah, still they have good civs, but AM have really good civs as well.
Okay, we check it on a flank now. Vilesas Vikings is facing Hira Malay. Honestly, I like both civilizations for different reasons.
Yeah, the Vikings is though, like, they can't really fight for water, right? But they're on this map. I assume they will be used as a land civilization while providing the dock bonus to the team. While Malay, hard to say, but I imagine they're also going to be heavily focused on land, especially playing against Vikings. I'm curious about who goes for water here. Leary is already making a dock here with his Japanese, so he's gonna definitely kick off to a good start there. Max is sending a villager himself now. But I don't see anyone else going to water yet.
Also, as a pocket, usually the pockets are going. The Hans has a problem here to go for the pocket because you get less wood in the start. So you will need a while more to get the wood to go in the middle. So, I don't know. Okay. Well, Japanese Leary versus Supi Mongols. Mongols in this one, well, it depends how you play, right? And he's going to go for the water? I think, no. He's doing a house. Maybe he's going for the water now, Supi. I think so, because he's sending one village to lure that elephant. All they do in the house, so it seems that Supi, and doing the loom now, Supi seems to be going for the water.
Yeah, it looks like it, right? But the question is, do you want your Mongols player to be playing water here? Maybe, because he can go up faster, right? But at the same time, you're most likely going to be facing Japanese, whose fishing ships don't really die. The question is it really worth it in the end here? When you rather, like, you would like Mongols to hit Imperial Age and get Mangudai, right? And that's unlikely. You're going to be far behind, most likely, the other players.
Well, we don't see Mongols anymore, Viper, as pocket civ in this kind of games. Well, the transition obviously is better or easier to go with Paladins because the Mongols require more time. So I believe that's the reason and why we always see Mongols as a flank.
Yeah, and also it's a natural transition, right? If you have a flank, you're most likely making range units, so you already have upgrades for the range units. All 3 scouts of AM are trying to be annoying to Zupi as he's trying to make a dock here. It's kind of working out. Again, I don't like the way... I mean, Nico and Leary has docks right next to each other again. And it's like the fish is going to run out so fast nearby. I would like to see the docks more spread, but then again, on this map, the fish is quite far anyway, so... We'll see how it plays out.
I don't know. I mean, it's worthy invest a lot on water for so long because, like you say, this run and the efficiency is really not great in this map. On water, I mean.
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? But it looks like both Viles and Hera aren't gonna make a dock. So what's nice as well here is that we have Malay team bonus, which gives the docks more vision. It's not huge, obviously, but it helps a little bit. But yeah, I think the top side would simply be Archer War here, and maybe one of them makes men arms, but I don't think so. I find the second lumber camp of Viles a little bit strange on the left side. He could have made it a little bit further.
He's together almost.
Yeah, that should have been a little bit further away.
Three tiles, maybe different.
Yeah,
no more.
It's not the end of the world though, but yeah, it could have been better. He's sending one villager to 2 gold now, and he's about to click up, so maybe he wants to open men arms here. But then the barracks should have already been on the way as well, so most likely just archers, and I assume it's the same for Hera. Question now is the pockets, if they want to go for scouts, which looks like both pockets are doing. So we can expect scouts opening from them.
Supi is going for the second dock, I feel. He's waiting there with the villagers, so he's gonna go completely on water. And then
Leary
the pocket...
is also sending one. Morville.
And the pocket will go scout, like you said. It's gonna be a lot of action because no castle age, and go with the Viper.
It feels like a mirror match at the moment. I think all players are doing, like, everyone is doing the same at this point. So then it's all about, like, what's your civilization and the execution here.
Well, a small advantage for Leary here because of the efficiency and the Japanese, hardly to die, and they go... What, Mr. Viper?
Yeah, the only pocket difference is that Nico has 3 efficiency, while Max went for 4. So a small advantage there, but I think it's not unlikely that Nico will continue to have efficiency when the fight for the water is over. Well, I think Max will probably lose this. So we'll see though. Yeah, just archery range on top side. Scouts from the pockets. Yeah, very, very standard.
Okay, archery range for Hira as Malay. The stable for Nikov. And on the other side, 3 dogs already. 3 dogs for Leary, okay. He's going heavily on water.
Big investment,
Is this worthy? Well, we will see. We don't see often going 3 dogs, Viper.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm not sure if they've scouted that. Let me check quickly here. Because I feel like if they know that... Okay, but they only see 1 dog from Zupi. So the question is that if they knew about that, then the 3 dogs might be overkill. And he would have been super exposed on land in that case. But yeah, it seems like Leary's already taking a really good trade on water. He's gonna kill 1 fire ship from Zupi and already did a lot of damage to the other one. Some scout shenanigans happening at the same time, and it just feels like AM has a better civ setup, and I feel like they have a better approach to this map so far as well.
Okay, let's see, because now there is 3 galleys. He's gonna try to defend that one. I don't know if there is... Oh, but he's not repairing. He got 4 galleys already. I mean, it really looks like he's gonna lose the water heavily and very fast, and that's a real problem. Then when this happens, you have to be stubborn, or you need to make a transition to land as soon as possible, because in this situation, I don't know, he's trying to repair, but he's losing the fish, and Leo is taking a huge advantage. Oh, the demo! Okay, the demo also almost changed everything.
Almost.
Yeah?
I feel like already it's clear to me, and probably them as well, that Zupi is going to lose water. So yeah, he has to make a decision now on how much he wants to invest. And does he want to try and keep fighting in the units, or does he just want to try and snipe fish, for example? But it's very, very clear right now that water is going to be won by AM. So Zupi already needs to think about his transition here, and I don't see too much of a transition on land. I would have liked to see him maybe go for a mill on the hunt, etc., and just take small ways to grab Causeway back. On the top side, both of them just making archers. Viles is now moving out. He might be sneaking straight to pocket even here, but I don't know where the scouts are from Nikov right now.
They are on the max base. They are going through a scout there. It's going around. Yeah. No, not taking anything there. I'm checking out on the right side. There is some scouts from the max on Leo's base, but Leo is completely walled, even doing a tower here. Remember that the bonus from Japanese fishing ships, I believe he will do more fish as soon as he notices that he's getting the water. For now, he's still doing more and more galleys, which is a lot. And like you said, now purple with fletching seems to know, but Nikov is gonna spot it. Nikov spot the archers, one scout down. No, he didn't lose it. But now he knows that the archers are coming.
Yeah, and Hera has the numbers advantage now as well. He can just go down and they will... Veles chose to go back here, which I guess is the right decision because he might have lost the units, but at the same time he could have just kept running and maybe tried to grab some damage and cause some trouble somewhere, right? The thing right now is, as Zupi loses 2 bills on the gold to the scouts of Nikov, the main issue here right now is that AM is sitting on a advantage for free. Well, it's not for free obviously, but they have the water, which is not... Actually, Zupi is making water units again.
Still going, but that is gonna fall him even more behind, but because he's still with nothing at home. Now he's doing quite a lot of farms. He's defended okay on wood. Of course, his population is pretty low, 30 villages, but that's normal. I mean, the others said more because they got the fish as well. And Hera is together now with Nikov and those scouts. He's trying to escape the max. That's okay, but where's the archer from Veles?
Well, he
I
went
don't
back,
see the
right?
archers from Veles.
He went back.
Okay.
He's in his base now again. But obviously, AM doesn't know that, so they're still running around looking for him. Actually, Nico is making a mistake here. All his fishing ships have been idled now forever since the fish ran out. So that advantage isn't really effective at the moment. But the main issue I see right now is, again, the bottom side. Leary has been playing sort of open. He didn't invest into the tower until like 14-15 minutes. And he played 3 docks, completely open. Well, he obviously had walled and woodline, but like he would have been exposed to archers, for example, but he got to play untouched. 3 dock water, pretty much.
Yeah,
and
the max is with bloodlines trying to go and make some damage, Viper, but where to make damage right now? Because wall completely on tower, Nikov, and the goal is super close to the TC. Don't think so he's gonna make anything. Or not too much.
Yeah. Agreed. And the good thing for AM is that Leary as well is already making a transition to land, while Zupi looks like he's doing a market. He's moving to stone, so he looks like he wants to go Mangudai, but this honestly just feels like such a risky move right now. It could also be to tower up, but it just feels weird to me. Hard to describe, but yeah. Feels like AM just have full control of the game right now.
They do, they definitely do. And even if you see that Veles is on the way to castle and say, oh, he's ahead to Hera, no. Why? Because Hera will reach then the resources to go up, and then Malai is gonna catch up, man. It's Malai, I will call is Usain Bolt civilization, man. You can't take them ever because you are going to click, and then you will be there super fast. Nikov on the way to Castle Age. Now, Castle Age as well for Leary, and that's the biggest problem here because he's gathering the resources, Supi, but Supi has 37 villages, Leary 45, Zero army, Supi as well.
Yeah, everyone is on the way to Castle now except Supi. He just bought 100 food, so he's going to be able to click up, but it's just, if you look at his position in the game right now. Oh, he actually is missing the blacksmith.
No
he couldn't click up. But like the position as well here, like what is he going to go Mangudai? Like, how does Zupi contribute to the game right now is the question, and I have a really hard time seeing that. One thing, the natural transition is to add ranges and do maybe crossbows, skirms, etc. But this looks like just a boom to me. Like there's not going to be land units here, and Leary has 2 range. He's going to have crossbow. He's going to be able to contribute. He's going to be able to hit the max even if Zupi is just towering up or making town centers, etc. And Zupi won't have anything to contribute to the game with. AM is playing super safe as well. Hera is just camping the top side with his archers. Some action happening in Nikov's base, but I don't see any damage being done.
So what Zupi can do in this situation, Viper, because he's mining a lot of stone, yeah, and if he's doing the casting, he don't even have a stable archer range, so the Mangudais will be also weak. He might be a little bit defended at home with the castle, that's good, but then it can be too many 2 versus 1 in other spot in the map.
Yeah. Like, I feel like he should have transitioned earlier, which means he should have realized that he's going to lose water faster and transition to land food eco faster, which means taking the deer, maybe making more farms earlier, all that stuff, and then transition to land. Right now, I think he committed too long on water, which in the end just slowed him down. even more, and it looks like it might come back to hurt their team now a lot as the crossbows from Leary comes in, but he does spot them.
Okay, he's there with the crossbows now, Leary, and Leo has ballistic. Let me check. No, he has Botkin, not even horse collar. Well, he has few farmers, don't need it too much. Now going to the pocket. The Max invested into light caps. He's trying to make damage, but Hira and Nikov both with a lot of farming. They don't have any weak point at the moment, and no room for the damage being there. And the Viles is trying to get a battle, but the Hira is ready all the time. They don't have right now any weak spot, Viper.
Yeah, Hera also made outposts through the whole center there, so they know whenever anything comes there or wants to pass, they will know. So nothing is gonna catch them by surprise at all here. And with the lead Leary has and Supi in the bottom right now, look at where Supi is doing the castle. This castle is a nothing castle. Of course you will have a castle, but it doesn't contribute anything to your position in the game. It's just
Viper,
such an awkward position.
I didn't play the effect. Can I play the Titanic?
Go on.
Okay, thank you, because I need to do this.
But watch the fight on the top.
Yeah, I'm there. Man, I mean, if we were talking that they weren't going to not to contribute, and now what? I mean, well, he's defending the wood, but I don't know. I was suspecting the castle where the man gonna release it right now. But anyway, look at the battle on top, like you said. Those crossbows got what upgrades? Hira, Thambrin and Ballistic, Viles, Thambrin and Ballistic, and who is taking a better battle? It seems to be Viles, actually.
Once the Knights come in from Nikov, they should be suddenly I think no matter what here, I don't think it's a terrible trade for her. Obviously, he lost pure number-wise, but the Knights there, they're gonna trade actually fairly equally considering the circumstances. There's also defender's advantage from Viles there, so all in all, Hera falls back with more military than Viles overall. And if you look at the villager count now, Leary with the fish boom is going ham. He's also added fish traps, so his eco is really good right now. He doesn't have extra town centers though, so it makes me think Leary is gonna do the 1TC approach again.
And do you think it's gonna work here? Because I'm not sure this time. I don't know. He got a lot of charges. He can do the job. Then we can see how the Max and Viles are actually booming really well. They are considering that they have the middle and that Hira got Malai that usually get advantage in villages. They are still behind. Now there's another big battle. Crossbows and Knights all together here. Who is taking this battle? Better. +2/+2 Knights. Look at the Knights now from the Max. Big, huge advantage in those upgrades. Only +1 armor for Nico. The Max might kill everything with those Knights.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Nico is sticking around here. Okay, he's pulling back now, but yeah. That was definitely a really good fight for Suomi, and that's maybe something that can snowball their position a little bit into their favor again. Now, I think there's not enough crossbow numbers for Viles to actually counterattack here. The Knights, obviously, of the Max are doing really good now. He has a significant lead on Nico. I'm not sure what has snowballed into this lead. There's a 14-15 villager lead even for the Max.
Wow.
While Nikov had fish. And I haven't seen any damage being done. Maybe he got raided somewhere earlier that I didn't notice. I'm not sure if you saw anything. But it's definitely, Max is doing a really good job here.
He was trying to raid with light caps. He didn't, he provoked some idle time, you know, when the light caps were around. But other than that, not too much. But again, those are +2/+2 Knights. It's still really, really solid, as you said. On the way to Imperial Leary, but I'm not sure about this. I mean, if he's going to the pocket or to the other side, maybe it's gonna work. But right now, Supi has already a boom going with how many TCs? 3 town centers. Leary now need to make the damage quite fast. Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, 1TC is still Arbalest. They are very dangerous, but the others seems to be a little bit ahead. Look at the village number. They are growing and growing. The Max got 16 villages more than Nikov as a pocket right now. And Imperial is for Viles.
Looking way better for Suomi than I anticipated first, but at the same time, you asked me if it's gonna work this game with Leary 1TC. Well, this game he also has, what, 16, 15 fishing ship. 17 fishing ships, so that's even better then, actually. And the big thing now is that Nikov is actually, Viles is on the way to imp as well. Very impressive. The Leary is going to have 40 arbalests here that are going to go straight to pocket by the looks of it. And that's enough of a tech advantage where you can idle and cause so much damage, especially on this map where you cannot really wall and there's hills everywhere. I imagine Max is going to have a really hard time now with so much of his economy idled. There's a chance Leary even runs all the way up to the lesser.
Oh, look at Leary. Leary usually don't wall a lot. This time decided game, look at the wood and the gold. Stone walls, Viper. He also walled it with the houses, walling everything, because if he's getting in that spot, imagine the Leary economy, how much he's going to suffer. But he's still... Where's the archers? I'm trying to see where the archers are from Leary.
In the middle
he's
of the
still
map.
at home, in the middle of the map. Okay, I see them. And he's going, like you said, directly to the max.
But that's the player they're fearing right now. They're looking at the score and thinking, okay, he's doing really well. And they're comparing to Nico as pocket as well, right?
Whoa.
Sorry, go on.
No, whoa, the score difference, man. I mean, 1,500 points already.
Max is constantly raiding Nico here. I see in his base, he was raiding on the woodline, he was raiding on the farms now. And that's where the lead is coming from. But the problem now for Max is, how does he deal with all these arbalests coming in? He's still in cast stage, he's not on the way to imp yet, and with this coming in, he needs to make a decision now if he wants to make more knights to try and deal with this, or if he's gonna go to Imperial Age. And
well, he can go imp now. I mean, if he's going to imp, how can he defend? He need army, and look at Leary, he's gonna take the tower with the arbalest.
Might as well, right?
Yeah,
and
man.
The thing is, if Max goes to imp, he's not gonna be making any army, and there's just no way for him to defend this. This move by Leary here is looking like it might be game deciding.
Well, it might be, but then we have now the Mongols going to be in Imperial 2. He's doing the tower. He need to make that tower. He's gonna be war tower. Gonna be a little bit better. He's trading a lot. Now Supi will have a second castle. That tower is a doubt tower. Oh my god, it's a doubt complete tower. 97%. Craziest move here by the Leary.
Nico has the same villager now as the Max as well, and the big thing now is, can Viles do anything against Hera here? He's coming in with Cat Ram now, ton of Arbalest, there's also Knights from the Max, but Hera just hit him. He's going to get Arbalest, he's going to get the upgrades he needs, and I imagine the only issue for them is the Rams, right? But there are Knights from Nico there, there might be enough.
There's one thing to take in consideration. Supi is with 80 villages, but he's doing the Onager upgrade. Do you think that, well, if he's doing a Mayan, he's bringing with 4 Mangonos, it's gonna be Onager shot into Leary? No, now Leary is going to attack probably Viles. Imagine this. Oh my god. The kid, Leary, is moving all over the map, and now he's going to Viles. I mean, 1 TC, 72 villages, 68 army, going all over the map and killing... You were right, Mr. Viper. Absolutely everyone.
Yeah, the onagers, like Zupi is doing drill as well, so the onagers will be able to chase up. Viles is doing siege ram. This is gonna be a really scary attack once siege ram is in, and Zupi could even send those 4 onagers all the way up to contribute to the attack against Hera, and then that's not easy. And Zupi has 90 villagers. He's fully in the game now. Max obviously took a lot of damage here, but he's not that out. He's still on equal terms with Nico. So if Supi now gets into a full post-Imperial Mongols play, suddenly the game is very interesting again.
Yeah, but look at now Viles, Viper, he do not notice, and this is, you need to call the Undertaker. The Undertaker to take those bodies, because look at this, he didn't notice, he's losing a lot of villages. Viles was, oh my god, losing so many villages and gonna lose even more. Oh my goodness, now Viles, the lowest village in the game, because Leary is killing everything there, everything. They are trying to push 6 Rams in the other side. It's true that he was focusing in the push, and he's gonna do it. Where's the Onagers? I'm trying to find the Onagers, man, and the Onagers are now taking those Arbalests on the left. He's here. Oh, look, and boom, finally killed all the Arbalests. Now that's crazy, and both Pocket finally joined the party on the way to Imperial, but amigos, Viles army. Oh my god!
Completely trapped now. Great moves here by Nikov and Hera there. Nikov is on the way to imp those, so it might have been a case made for saving those, but then again, you're cleaning up the whole army. Viles, he's the top scorer on the team, and he just got crushed down to 50 population.
Wow!
That's not a good sign.
Well, it's incredible. I mean, the multitasking is complicated, but it just happened just at the same time. He was trying to push completely, and then he got destroyed at home and killed all the military. The Honors is gonna help, I don't know. Well, Supi is still with 100 villages, 15 army, Viles 44 villages, Viper. He got destroyed, man.
Exactly, and this is just this map is really tough. Once there's stuff going on, that's what I'm saying with the hills and the fact you cannot properly wall. There, it's so hard to make your whole economy safe, and Velez's base is the prime example for that right now.
Yeah, it's just incredible the damage they did to how he could avoid this. Well, one castle at home, imagine. He didn't have any defense at home. He didn't expect this coming, but you need something. When did you see that happening? I don't know, a couple of towers even, it will help. But he went all in into Hira, and maybe it wasn't needed because Supi, like you said, is fullback. Well, not fullback in the game, but elite Magondice, all the upgrades, Onages with the drill, and now Velez is keep losing more and more in this decided game that this looks more and more for a secret versus AM Grand Final.
Indeed, you could make a case here that if Velez just sent his whole army back, all the 40 Arbalest, he would have been completely fine, and Lyri's Arbalest wouldn't have done more, right? They already did a lot of damage to Max, yes, but Lyri only has Arbalest. There's no siege, there's no trebs, there's no ramps or anything to take down castles, the buildings. So worst case scenario is that they idle the economy or kill villagers. And with those Arbalest at home, yes, Hera would have been fully in the game and been able to push back, but at least he would have had his own economy alive. And that's probably in hindsight what could have potentially kept them in the game. But right now it's looking really tough.
And Supi was going there. I mean, if he just with the Onagers, just put together all the Arbalists at home, and with the Onagers, they would make some huge badabooms and kill. Now, Nikov that was super behind is even ahead to, well, the max is still 140 villas, 5-ton center, but they have one player out of the game, and Nikov able to make Cavaliers upgrade faster than the max. That was almost impossible to think about that 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, now there's 3 armies in Max's base as well. There's Cavalier, there's Arbalest from both Lyri and Hera. And it's not like Zupi is suddenly like pushing Lyri. He's just defending against Lyri as well. And that's kind of like, they don't have anything going for them right now. Velez's town centers are completely idle, his main PC is down. And Zupi, I don't know, if you look at the bottom corner, it's a weird place to look right now, but he's doing another nothing castle. Which I don't really understand, but okay, that's not where the focus is right now.
Well, he's trying to get some more resources, but now look at the rating, the score lead is incredibly high now because they are just killing absolutely everything. Supi is still only in 120 population. We have also to say, Viper, that in this kind of situation that you have to help, the Mongols is definitely not the best civilization to help with the teammates because the transition is very, very slow. Super strong, yes, but they are hard to get there, and now in 1 TC still, Lyri still with 1-ton center, and let's just say, not even Rams, Siege or anything, but well, they didn't work together this time, and Mr. Velez lost everything, and he kept losing TCs, Viper.
Yeah, that's the thing though, once there's like 30-40 Arbalest in between your town centers, like on this map, like I said, there's so many hills and so many areas that will be exposed that once there's 30 Arbalest there and you're in Castle Age, there's not too much you can do, right? Look at the way Max has built town centers here because he knows his eco is in complete disaster. He just built a line and kept making new town centers in order to secure economy. But at this point, it looks like there is no coming back here from this. Really impressive by AM. They were down to 2-3 and they had to win the 2 remaining games. And it looks like they're just about to pull it off.
Yeah, and they did not like, clear. I mean, this game was looking, but from the start they took the water easily, I will say. Now these Paladins, of course the combination now with Paladins and Magnus is very solid. The max 36 army. Check out the army from Nikov right now. 70 military, man. 70 military from the Argentinian with double the Paladins. It's just gonna be impossible for them to come back. The scores say that is a big difference. And Viper, tomorrow, most likely, you will have to face AM boys again.
Oh boy, oh boy. I think we could even go Falcon here, and that might be better because now you just want to tank for the main guy. But yeah, this might be the final fight of the game. Actually, it looks like Suomi might come not that ahead, actually. So, no worries there. Actually, very well. Max, actually, considering Max's situation, I think he did really well to get so many Paladins out and actually even get the Paladin upgrade. Very impressive. But Lyri coming in again with the Arbalest to the center, and they are simply delaying the inevitable. Less is 34 population. and this is a 48-minute game. Viles, I see units frozen,
GG.
which means the GG is called.
Man. GG, man. GG. Well. Secret versus AM. This series could go either one or the other. And at the end, Nikov, Leary, and Hira in this one, and Leary, Hira, and MBL in the other, in the 6, did the job, and the comeback and AM 4-3 versus Suomi. Well, man. 2-3, 4-3, no pressure, it seems, to AM. Do you think that they feel that pressure? Because at the end, Suomi is always there, is very close, but they keep in the semifinals, right? So do you think that can matter? Because I don't know. I think they were doing a really good job. They did a good job in this game. To be honest, I thought that they were coming back, even if they lost the water. So what do you think, Mr. Viper?
I think Suomi lost this with the draft. But I think.
Yeah.
I feel like AM just simply outdrafted them for these last 2 maps. And obviously the execution of AM was really good on top of that. But I feel like for both games, I would have easily picked AM if I had to choose the civilization. So AM did a good supplementary draft here, and they performed really well on top of that. So.
And we have to say that that's a really good compliment for AM, coming from you, Viper, as well, because many people said in the past that AM was getting problems with the draft, and they probably clearly dominated in that one. Also, that Magyar's Berber decision can matters too.
Yeah, I think Berbers would have made more sense here, but. This game is also a game that is more likely to go to Paladin, right? So I understand the thought process of wanting the Paladin civ here. But if I look at the draft here, I see that Lithuanians, for example, is not chosen. They would have also been a better pocket civ here for Suomi instead of Magyars, in my opinion. I don't have... I think probably something like Burmese could be better for... beach fight, and then they could have used Teutons as the pocket save there, for example. It's just some draft stuff that I might disagree with. But then again, drafting and civilization choices are very individual as to what you prefer, right? So it's hard to say. But
honestly, Viper, if, like you said, if Viles stays just at home waiting a little, he don't lose his base. He doesn't lose his base.
Indeed, yes, but that also gives Hera the chance to take full map control on the top side and push into Viles from that side again, while Viles is trying to defend from the bottom. So I think it's inevitable what happens either way here. Once Lyra is into the base of Max, I think that's where the damage gets done, and anything from there is just a chain reaction from the fact that Max is getting slowed down a lot.
What do you want from the Viper? Viper is doing a professional casting. MemTV, where's the Viper sell out? What do you want? They want you sell out what? They want you sell out the tournament or me? What do you want for you, man? You are not a sellout. You are a professional caster, right, Mr. Viper?
Yeah, professional caster, of course.
Now you can sell out if you want, Viper. You know, I mean, it's almost the end of the stream. You can do whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want. Don't kill the channel.
I have a new TikTok channel. Viper AoE on TikTok.
But they are talking sell out my channel, not your own channel, man. What the fuck is this, man?
Yeah,
seriously.
I hear sell out. This is what happens, okay?
You sell out for yourself. Oh boy, Mr. Viper. This is not how it's working the things, man.
Well, you didn't listen to my host call, so this is revenge.
Oh.
No, but I really enjoyed casting this, actually. Surprisingly, I'm not a big fan of casting, which is probably why we haven't casted together before. Very rarely do I say yes to casting, but I actually enjoyed it. The series was great. And thanks to you for hosting the tournament, of course. Thanks for everyone watching. And people, I know there's a few of you guys with Prime subs out there.
Oh.
You can improve the prize pool, guys. Give more money to us, Memb, and make the prize pool better. Use your Twitch Prime now.
Now or never, right? Now or never. And anyway, let's take the statistics, the final statistics of this game, because... well, it's gonna be... I mean, I'm gonna take only Viper the timeline. The timeline, just look at the timeline from Viles at one point. Look how it just... well, got destroyed literally a little bit after the Imperial, and his population just get demolished by AM. And from there, They couldn't come back. Completely destroyed. Military, you can see. Hello, Debbie. And the max 43 largest army, 76 Leary, almost 200 unit kills. At the end, guys, the women's always rage, no matter what.
That's true.
But they always rage. You agreed, right, Viper? They always rage, man. No problem.
I agree. And she can't hear you, luckily. So that's good.
What did he say?
Nothing.
Welcome to my world. And they always want to know everything, right? Everything, man.
It'll be the couch tonight, man.
Well, welcome to my world, man. Welcome to my world. Mr. Viper, and thank you so much for
Mr.
coming.
Man, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, a pleasure, man. It was for me the first time. Not virgin anymore in that regard, and hopefully it's not going to be the last, okay? Tomorrow...
Well, I am for that.
I hope... Viper, please.
Repeat from last year.
Yeah. No. No. What?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Repeat of last BOA.
Ah, the last
Tomorrow.
BOA? Tomorrow?
I want a repeat of the final of last BOA.
No. You can't. Yeah. Because if you do, you don't win. Because it's best of 7.
Plus one extra.
Okay. You want a 5-0. Please, Viper. Slow down a little. 5-4, please. 5-4. Okay? I mean, 5-3 at least, okay?
I don't think I can control that. But yeah, we're going to try our best. AM is going to be... I think they're looking really strong now. Hera obviously has been improving a lot since last BOA. I don't know if he played with them last BOA. I don't think so.
He wasn't with them, the team. Hera didn't play.
Yeah, so he's like a really good addition to their team, right? So AM are going to be tough. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun.
Me too, man. Me too. Rest well. Debbie, don't be too tough with Viper. He need to dominate tomorrow. Be tough tomorrow, Debbie. So... Mr. Viper, thank you so much, man. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, man.
Hopefully we get great games. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, man. Whoa. Guys, this has been, man, 4-3 series. AM came back. And maybe now we can talk with Hera, I don't know, to an interview, you know? Let's see if Hera is around. And we can go for the interview with Hera. And hopefully you enjoy a lot. It was amazing, really, really amazing. Remember tomorrow live games, okay? Live games, I'm gonna show you now. This is what is gonna happen tomorrow. Beautiful, beautiful. Team Secret AM, the Viper Tato down, Slam Neely, AM, Hira, Leary, MBL, Nikov. What a team, guys. What 2 teams. And let's see if he's here. Tomorrow, it's 14 GMT, okay? It's at 14 GMT. Doesn't matter, MotoDG. If they are at 13 GMT waiting 1 hour in the channel, I will be happy. It's bad for them, not for me, you know, MotoDG. Thank you, Mot. Okay, man. And here we are. Here we are. With who we are here?
Mr. Hera, I guess. Hello.
Oh my god. Oh, you got jealous because I called Mr. Viper and not Mr. Hera with the casting? What is this?
No. I just call everyone Mr. Man. Even myself is Mr. Hera.
Okay. Well, Hera, congratulations. Has been a really long time that we didn't talk. And I want to tell you something. It's really nice because you did an amazing and perfect casting. Knowing that you were going to be in the grand final, you didn't spoil anything. You even said that you were going to be there no matter what. And there was at some point that you make even some sentence during the casting that I thought that you lost this series. Because you were telling, no matter what, maybe you are down, but then when you said, but when you lose and that feeling leave is not the same. And I thought that you were losing the series because of that. Good job, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I have good poker face. Like I feel like it regardless what I say, you can't, unless I flat out say what happened, you can't really figure out what happened or what was the score. So I just went about it as if I wasn't sure what happened, and I only talked about the semifinal, me versus or us, AM versus Suomi. That's pretty much it. I didn't talk about anything about the finals.
And now we can talk. Now we can talk about the series because I'm gonna put the maps there, so we can see all the maps and we can analyze. I love this overlay, by the way, because all the maps are there now. Arabia, brutal and smooth gameplay from AM, even when they were trying to attack you a lot in the middle. Let's see if I remember all the maps.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much I can comment on the maps of the games here, though. Just fair warning, because we have the final tomorrow, so.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
so then just congratulations because you don't
yeah.
want to comment, but just the feeling. Let's talk just about the feelings. When you were 2-3 behind, um, what you are thinking the team like? Oh man, they're gonna beat us and we cannot be in the grand final. In those moments, what is the behind the scene between AM or Leary just rage everyone? Nah, what is this, man? What happened, Mr. Kira?
Well, the thing is, in that position, you have to just have the mindset to play the game for the game and not play it for the prize or what's at stake. Like, just play it in the moment and don't think about what's coming after and the results. So we just put it in perspective. We have 2 games to play. We have 2 maps to play, and we're gonna draft like that. It doesn't matter if it's for $1,000, for $10,000, for the grand finals. Doesn't matter. You just play the maps and play the game.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you something, and this is really important. You are listening to me really careful, right?
Yeah.
When was the last time Leary played 7 games in a row?
Actually,
I mean, come on, man. I mean, 7 games in a row, he's not gonna. I mean, is he gonna play the grand final tomorrow? Because maybe he's exhausted already. You know?
actually, funny story. He played. So the day before we played the semifinal, we played a 7-game set versus China practice. Larry
Whoa.
played 14 games in 2 days. That's more than he's played in the whole 2020, in the whole year. So yeah, like Larry was actually just like depressed after that, just because he played so much AoE, basically.
I mean, you all played amazing, and now you are gonna call me fanboy, but he has played very strong all the games. Like
Yeah,
he's not
I agree.
practicing, and that guy without practicing is impressive how he can play at that level. Seriously.
Yeah, I think he was the MVP of the series, especially this one. I mean, he was benched for the other ones anyways, but for this series, I think he played really well, especially the last game. I don't know, he just plays really solid on flank, and it's always a guy you can rely on, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna take no more time to you here. I only can say that the Secret tomorrow play like they did today against Xinjiang. And AM played like you did today, because we don't have to forget that you won 4-3, but Suomi played amazing. So even if you play in that level, they put a huge fight. But then tomorrow, it can be an incredible epic series, and this is what we all want.
Yeah. Yeah, although I do think that AM has to step it up a little bit. I think we made too many mistakes in the series. I think I lost my team the game on Desert Slope, for example. So I think there's some mistakes that we have to clean up, but overall, I'm happy with how we played for sure. And it's gonna
Yeah, I
be
mean,
interesting to see what happens tomorrow.
it's not difficult. I mean, in this slope, honestly, I don't know if you were rewatching the games or something. The difference with you had is that you guys were not microing to go outside the village on the wood, while Suomi was microing from minute 0.
Yeah, exactly. That was
Yeah.
my mistake. So we watched the Rex. Obviously, we know what to do now. I'm not gonna talk
Okay.
too much about it, but
Okay,
yeah,
so there we go. Thank you
learned
for
from
coming.
mistakes. Yeah.
No problem. Congratulations, Mr.
Thank
Hira.
you.
And tomorrow, more and better.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Take care, and congrats on the event as well. Bye-bye.
Thank you, man. I'll see you tomorrow. Good luck
Yeah.
tomorrow. Bye,
Good luck,
Thank you
Joe.
for coming
Bye-bye.
again. Bye.
My pleasure. Bye.
Well, guys, this is Battle of Africa 2 Grand Finals. Beautiful one from Krasini. He brought it here, and hopefully you really have enjoyed. This is for people on YouTube. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful.